Alrighty then. Let's do it. A little stream today. Might not be crazy long. I just have like the afternoon to play, and then I got some other stuff to do. So probably not a crazy long stream, but I'm excited. Gonna try to work on some Pally and Brewmaster gearing, and we'll chill and listen to some music, hang out. Not too much going on. Not too much going on till next week. This is all set up for the actual season start, which is soon. Very exciting for that. But mostly we're still just setting up. My druid, I did some raid off stream yesterday, and I ended up getting a tier piece, which is really nice. So if I get lucky in my vault on the druid, then I will actually have potentially a tier in vault, which is really cool. Yeah, let's see what we're doing. I either start with Pally or I start with Brewmaster today. Sure, I would love that. And then we'll see. Maybe I actually start with the Brewmaster, and we'll go from there. I'll put a little Discord notification out. Here we go. Boop, 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 boom. Okay, there we are. Perfect. All right, I'm excited. So I think that Arson actually might want to do some keys, and then we're going to do some... Yeah, I guess we'll play some Brewmaster first. If Random wants to come give me some leather, then that would be great. Let's do it. It looks like... Okay, let's do it. Let's do some. Yo, what's up, noob? Good morning, good morning. Man, my life has been super busy. What's up, Kamikaze? Yeah, dude, my life has been... I feel like I've been super busy recently. Yesterday, I was like, oh, let me, like, stream and, like, play for a few hours, and I realized all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'm an adult. I was like, oh... It was so close, you know, but I was like, unfortunately for me, I am now an adult. You know how much that sucks? I used to be a kid, and now I am an adult, so I have to do adult things. I don't know if I like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have some thoughts. I'm not sure I really like this whole getting older thing. You know what I mean? I don't know how you feel about it, but not really my thing. All right, let's start with some Brewmaster then. I think I have some other people to help. Yeah. What's up, Lee? Good morning. Hi, Small. Ace just resubscribed. Yo, thank you for the resub. You got AOTC on... Nice, Malden. Nice. I haven't done Dream Rift yet, actually. I've only been doing Void Spire for tier. I should do Dream Rift on the Druid soon, but I'll focus while we have some people on to help me with some leather stacking M0s. What's up, Malden? Was it hard? How long did it take you to kill Heroic Dream Rift in a pug? Or did you do it with your guild? Is that like a hard fight? I haven't looked at Dream Rift at all, to be honest with you. I have no knowledge of it. I want to finish up 3 wipes with pugs. That's not bad at all. That's pretty easy. I should do it. I don't think I'm going to join a liquid split, so if I'm not going to join a liquid split, then I would consider it, though. Yeah, Ace, that's why I've been... Did you see that? That's why I've been a little stressed recently, because I have so many characters to technically prepare for next week. You know what I mean? That's the problem. That's my issue, is like, I have so many characters. Was one instant wipe, one real pull for your guild? That's easy. You got Resto Druid and Holy Paladin? I have so many characters. That's my problem. That's why my characters are still kind of under geared. Like, I've got some, but yeah. I just need them enough for next week. That's all I need. I don't need it to be crazy. Just like a few vault slots on everything, and we'll see how much we can prepare for next week. But it's tough. You saw that, huh? Yeah. It is, yeah. I saw Heroic's Paladin was 2 pulls. It looked harder. How long can you keep it up before you get burnt out? I already feel burnt out super, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I haven't been on stream that much. If you look at my streaming hours this last 30 days, this is like the least amount of hours that I have been live in 6 months. In like basically like almost a year. I think since last February when I had an eye infection or something, and then I couldn't stream for a bit. But basically, yeah, I've been trying to recover and like take time away from the game so that next week we can go hard on M+. That's the idea, but it's not going according to plan. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not working. Like, I had a plan. It was a good plan. Doesn't matter. That's the truth of it. The actual truth is very simple. It was supposed to be time off until later in the season. But I have not taken enough time off, though. What if the real WoW killer was opening Warband collection in Silverman, giving the game a stroke? I need to actually look at my Warband collection, speaking of which. I put some stuff in there, but I need to look again to see what I do or do not have. I don't even know what it is, though. All right, here we go. Kind of get something for... I think Arson has a few that he's already locked to. Let's see what he wants to do. Well, maybe he'll have a preference, basically. And I guess we can see if anybody else wants to come to M0s, but I don't know. Hey, Melita. How's it going, Moon? Hey, Moon. How's it going? Long time no see. Are you guys enjoying this week so far? You guys like the raid? Like, what are the vibes in general from the very first week that the raid has been open? What do you think? I haven't been really keeping up with the Race the World First. It's not very entertaining to watch this week. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. Like, do you know the truth of it? It's kind of not... It's not fun to watch because there's no stakes until next week. Like, I don't really care. They're just doing splits. And I'm not trying to learn the fights. So I'm just kind of like a little, you know? What you want to do, Arson, for dungeon? I don't know if Arson needs like a trinket or anything like that. I think he said he already did a few. So yeah. I'm a little. We'll see. Void Spire seemed cool thus far. You want to do any M0? Want to do any M0? No need if not. Chill. I don't know if Deco wants to come. We can offer, of course. But I think next week, I mean, we're only 4 days away now. It's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for me. Saturday morning here, though. How do I get that mount? This one? This one is awesome, huh? It's my favorite mount in the game. That's why I have it on all my characters. The problem is this is a mythic mount. This is from Mythic Farok when I actually raided C. But since I don't raid anymore, I'm never going to get another mythic mount again. Isn't this like the best mount, I think? I love this mount. This one's super awesome. But unfortunately, it is a mythic mount, so it's not easy to get. I don't know what the drop rate is now, or if you can solo Farok. You probably... No, I guess maybe not. It's like two things, though. It's like a flaming owl. Looks good. I love this mount, but I do think mythic mounts are oftentimes hard to get. How are you guys? How's everybody? I've had a weird week, honestly. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a weird week. Okay. We don't have to do every Mythic 0, by the way. We just have to do a few, though. I'm safe to Spire, Nexus, and Caverns. Okay. East for East. Nexus and Spire. Okay, so no Nexus, no Spire. We will start with Magister's Terrace, then I suppose we could do that. Redeem Fox Ears for a minute. All right, bet. Hold up. Magister's Terrace, Mythic 0. I haven't looked at what I actually need. I just need basic items. Like, there's nothing I really need. I just need, like, actual item level. Like, just anything, basically. Just so I'm thinking to myself, if my characters are 240, they can probably just immediately do 10s next week. Like, I can bring my Brewmaster to a 10 without feeling too bad about it. That's the idea, right? But we'll see. I don't know if it actually will work like that. Can you trade leather stuffs? We can ask him. I think most people should be able to trade leather stuff at this point. So, we'll see. I don't miss Season 3. I think this next season is going to be awesome, but it's not started yet. It's 4 days away. We'll have to see how it works out. But you know what I want to do, honestly, for the next 3 hours? And normally I'm not like this, but I am like this today. This is how I feel. Are you ready? I'll tell you how I feel. Right? Oh, shit. Ben wants to come. I missed you. I'm sorry. I just missed it. My bad. I haven't caught you in a while. It's good to hang out again. Yeah, come hang out. I'm chilling. All right, what does he need? Let me just quickly inspect him. He's going to want to steal legs and boots from me. Everything else, it looks like he can trade. That's fine. Well, who just subscribed? Godled just subscribed. Yo, thank you for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. Yeah. Moon, have you been playing Midnight? How have you been enjoying it so far? I want to listen to the Arcane. You know what I've been feeling? I'm feeling Arcane music today. This is what I feel. Like this song. Something a little bit more like this. This is what I feel like today. We'll see what we actually end up listening to. Where's the... Isn't it over here? This like other island up here? That's the dungeon. I thought it was up here that the dungeon was. I'm still playing Mop. Haven't got into Midnight yet. Fair enough. Is there a lot of people playing Mop at this point? I feel like most people would have transitioned to Midnight already, right? Yo, what's up? Racket, please look at the raid bot sim I posted in your Discord. Yeah, sorry. Let me catch up on YouTube chat, my bad. What's up, Caesar? Yo, black screen, by the way, can't see anything. What? You can't see anything on YouTube? Can you see anything now, Caesar? Is that better now? Can you see anything now, Caesar? Thanks for replying to your comment earlier on the Pally video. Yeah, of course, no problem. Possible drawbacks. So the wings and stuff, macroing your divine toll, right, into wings is a problem only because sometimes you sacrifice your own damage and survivability to make sure that you get interrupts on a pack. So for example, I never want to delay my wings or sentinel if I don't have to, but what I can do sometimes, Grimlock, is this, which is that if there's a dangerous pack like in Magister's Terrace, I might decide to desync my wings and toll just so that I can have toll for interrupts. It's kind of a utility choice, but you're right that in general you never desync them, but nonetheless I still wouldn't macro. Just because there are some cases where it would be suboptimal to have them always together. Like there are moments when you might have to send toll sometimes early for aggro reasons if people start blasting like way before they should. There's a few reasons why you have to be a little bit careful about it though. No worries. Okay, no worries. Does that make sense? Hopefully that answers your question. Big question, the Paladin tree, Divine Toll telling you they're sending Avenged Shield for 15. Always Resonance. And the reason, Super, is because you want to combine your wings and toll almost always. And also Resonance is way better than you think it is. Do you think Feral or Windwalker is better for Mythic Plus and Raid? I think Feral is in a better spot right now, Harry. Personally speaking. I think that Windwalker might get buffed. We'll see how it performs in Raid this week. If it doesn't get buffed, though, I think that Feral actually does do really good damage. It was kind of slept on in beta, but I could see Feral being... You might actually want to play Feral, believe it or not. I mean, we'll see. Like, that might not happen, but you never know. Make sense? So Feral has, like, a decent damage profile for keys, among other things. Like, it actually, as long as it is tuned to do damage, the last set of buffs on March 17th were actually a fairly massive buff to Feral, and it already did kind of decent damage. So I actually do think that very possibly you might actually see a little bit of Feral play. We'll see. It ends up being just a pure damage thing because it competes for melee, though. Yeah, you're welcome, Grimlock. I love Paladin, and to be fair, Paladin is probably the second tank that I want to play this season. Like, obviously, Guardian is going to be my main, right? But even here, this pull is a great example of why I wouldn't want to macro my shield, because if I macro my shield, then what's going to happen is that pull that I just did, that would be an exact example of how I throw an Avenger's shield to the left, and then as I walk through these guys here, that 3-pack, I'm going to hit Shield of the Righteous. So if I had it macroed, I wouldn't be able to do that. So there's some logic to not macroing, but honestly, it's kind of it's a min-max that isn't required. This season, among all seasons, if Prot Pallies really wanted to macro their Shield of the Righteous, you could. Like, you could. That's the truth of it. The end-all, be-all is that, technically speaking, you're not trolling for doing it. There were seasons where that would be troll. This isn't one of them. Because your Word of Glory is so decentivized that you will only ever send it with a Shining Light proc. You will never spend Holy Power on it. And so it's like, you could probably just macro if you really wanted to. Does that make sense? Yep. How are you liking Brewmaster? Brewmaster is notoriously a tank I don't play very much. But I think I'm curious about it right now. This iteration of it feels the best to me because I'm bad at it. Like, to be honest with you, it's because I'm not good at Brewmaster that this version of it feels so much better. But, like, that right there was an example of I would have desynced my Toll and Wings so that I got aggro on that pull. What talents are you dropping for Cleanse when you need it? On Paladin, Super? Paladin has... You just, like, for the dungeon that you want Cleanse. Paladin is easy. You just drop... You can either drop Ward or even, like, you can technically drop Blinding or a few other choices up on the top. Yeah. Normally, though, I just path through. You can drop, like, the Empyrean Ward, potentially, though. Hi, Requiem. I think Brewmaster... My main issue with Brewmaster is that I'm playing with a Mistweaver. I know I'm playing with a Mistweaver, and he only plays Mistweaver. So we're not going to ever stack, like, a Brewmaster and a Mistweaver together. Although, They are a good combo, surprisingly. How do you feel about Guardian survivability for keys? Really good. I think that Guardian will be fine. Obviously, it's been nerfed a lot recently, and the damage nerfs were also a survivability nerfs. Plus, the hotfix nerf were also that. But I don't know if you guys have seen. Have you guys seen the logs for Raid recently? Yo, what's up, Bobbins? You know that Guardian is still overperforming, right? Everybody was telling me, they were like, guys, Guardian is dead. My Discord was filled with a bunch of people who were super doomer. They were like, Guardian? Psh, unfortunately, that tank is now F tier. And I'm like, guys, it's going to be fine. And everyone was like, this is reprehensible behavior. We have to rage and scream. And I can't believe this happened to my dear old Guardian Druid. Guys, you seen the raid logs? Guardian is still top damage in raid. They might get nerfed again. We're fine. And I think that for keys, it was a sizable nerf, but, like, we're going to be all right. So don't worry too much. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay, and I understand why. Like, and to be fair, I do think the nerfs were a little bit still done the wrong way, and I kind of wish it was done a different way, but at the same time, yeah. Guardian's getting a buff. Well, that's for next season, and who knows what's going to happen before then, to be fair. You know what I mean? Like, we have no idea what's actually going to happen at that point, though. I don't know if he needs that. Here, we should, people are going to be owning this year. This is supposed to be a funnel pull. DC is so much higher? No, now they're equal, though. I would gladly accept. On Tankshaw? What's up, dude? So, yeah, it's going to be okay, though. I'm on the same boat with you. Hi, Zara. Hi, Sean. How's it going? Are you playing Prezia this season, Sean? I actually think that of all the things, I didn't make a video about it because I was too busy, but the PTR changes for next season, the Prez buffs, those are good. That is cool because it works with a tier set too. I really like that. I'm very excited for TA to not be directional. That was actually that's like a big deal for Prez. That's like I mean, it's, on one hand, it's a big deal. On the other hand, it's like, I guess it's not the end of the world, but it's still pretty cool that they finally did something with TA. Did you guys see that? I don't know if you play Prez, but the PTR changes where some of them were announced. It won't be all of them, but Prez, their directional temporal anomaly is now changed to just be a casual 40-yard AoE ability. So you never have to worry about it anymore. Until TA buff on Mistweaver now. Fair enough. Mistweaver, honestly, Giga Healer. Super fun. I love Mistweaver. That's one reason I'm partially gearing my Brewmaster first, because I know I'm going to want to play Mistweaver in the season. I think Mistweaver is giga fun, and since I'm actually going to be on a Mythic Plus team with a Mistweaver, I also get to learn from him. So if I ever am healing without him, and I, like, run into a problem, I can ask. Now I like, you know, I'm friends with Megaset and Crane, so I can just ask Deco or I could be like, hey, here's a log. I'm, like, trying to heal this fight, and I'm kind of messing up. Like, what can I improve? And I'm pretty sure they would give me advice, which is awesome. Super cool, right? So I think that's awesome. It's cool to have, like, powerful context in the WoW community. I think that people misunderstand, like, how impactful it is. I think, by the way, the real issue for Guardian, I don't know if you guys caught this, you realize that Boomy got, like, giga buffed, right? And that is sad, because I hope they get nerfed again. Because if Boomy is the premier Druid spec, then I guess rest in peace, Guardian. That is actually one of the worst problems. That's when you think about the meta tank, you always have to think about their DPS counterpart, because, you know, the game is not normally tuned in order for something to be brought to, you don't double up on classes, so I think that's unfortunate. Back piece, we don't need that. Big cloak for you. I mean, it's gonna get replaced, but sure. All good. I lost 20 pounds. Ooh, that's awesome, Ace. Congratulations. That's huge. Massive job, man. That's good. Congratulations. Proud of you. It's not easy to change your health. Do I not want it? Oh, it's okay. I mean, I'll take it, but it's not like the biggest deal in the world. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll still take the cloak. Don't worry. Oh. I have a feeling that my Boomy started popping off. I'm going to watch aggro. Yeah, the whole point of this Mythic Zero here is just I need to be decently geared so that next week I can bring my Mistweaver, or sorry, my Mistweaver or my Brewmaster to a Mythic 10. There is like a secret hack to playing ults in a season. Do you guys want to know what it is? This is how you be efficient with your ults, especially because this season they've changed it. We pray they keep this change, that once your main gets 4-set, your ults can start dropping the 4-set. Did you know that? That came from Fail as a needs to get back on the bear path. Yo, what's up, Comedia? Prop Pally the raid was hitting kind of hard when I was tanking it. Not like crazy hard, but enough that I could see where Prop Pally would actually die. I was co-tanking with a Prop Pally, and my Prop Pally was dying, so I could see that. Bear feels pretty immortal, though. That was already fixed. Was it already hot fixed? God damn it, I hate this game. There's already... It's not true, it's not... But why did they hot fix it after it already happened? I wanted it so bad. I was so excited. I want it so bad. No. I hate that. I hate when they put stuff like that in, and you're like, wow, W, and then all of a sudden they fix it. Because that means I have to basically either wait 5 weeks on my ults, or... I mean, I guess I just wait 5 weeks on my ults, or I have to raid. And I was kind of hoping that I was like, what a giga change. Like, that's so cool for people who like ults. And I was like, that's a real fun detected moment. I don't really know if it would have hurt that much, to be honest. In fact, I oftentimes wish that they just allowed ults to be played a little bit more friendly. I think it would help the game. Like, if your main is progressed, they have, like, the gilded discount and stuff like that. But I think that you progress on your main, you do the gearing on your main, and then your ult should have access to fair amounts of gear. Maybe not equal, maybe not myth track, like trinkets from a vendor or anything like that. Just enough, you know? What's up, okay? You know when you're on cap of a crest, you start getting the highest one below that ratio? Is it a 1-to-1? Yes. It should be a 1-to-1 ratio. Yo, what's up, Rainbow? Morning, morning, morning. How's it going, guys? I just hate how they removed Spirit Bloom. That also is true. Prez got worse with the pruning. It actually got harder to play, not easier, and I really don't like what they've done with it. You know, I'm really, like, unfortunately not a fan of how they decided to change Prez for Midnight. I liked it a lot more before, you know. Waiting for the big juicy bear guide. Oh, yeah. So, Comedia, I can't make a bear guide until next week testing anyways. I don't know what's going to happen. This song is so nostalgic. At job, wishing to play WoW. I've had a weird week. Not a bad week. Just... You guys ever realize that we're not young anymore? You guys ever, like... You ever, like, realize you just, like, stop and you think for a second and you're like, holy shit. I'm an adult. You ever have that? And it's like... Damn it. like I don't know if I want this. This isn't what I signed up for. More all-friendly, more visual expression? I think so. I mean, I understand you actually can't make it so that your ult can just literally buy everything. If your ult could actually buy everything, it's an avoidance ring, I would trade it if I could. Yeah. That's the thing. I would actually trade this because that's a really good ring, but I cannot. I don't have item level. I do, because I don't have item level. Yeah, sadly, item level. Next one I could trade. I can't actually trade that. That's actually kind of, because that's a really good ring. That's a good ring, actually, but it's not good for me. I want to ult, but I treat mine like an ult already. Yeah. Yeah. I am overall very happy with my life. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting older. Maybe we know for sure yet. Do you think, oh shit, Kiltra, is that a good thing? I mean, it is a good thing, right? Probably. I think it's a good thing. I hope it's a good thing. Yeah, of course. There's a lot of dads that play WoW. Are there any people right now listening to stream that are parents? Do any of you have Spawn? Because I think actually, like, the whole point of why I want WoW to be more alt-friendly is actually so that people can feel more comfortable playing it. Does a cat dad count? Cat doesn't really count, to be honest. It's not the same. There's a terror wave about to go off. We're about to get feared, like hard. I might actually die. I don't really have gear for this, though. It's okay. Big damn, big damn, big damn. I kick one. I leg sweep one. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. You have a dog? That kind of counts. Ace, how many kids do you have? I'm a parent. That doesn't really count, I will say. How many kids, Ace? Can you do this, Skip? Does that work? I've got a daughter, 16 months. Do you still manage to play WoW? No, not necessarily, Sean. I mean, my brother's about to... He's about to adopt this year. So I'm going to be an uncle. Like, I'm actually... That's like a real thing. I'm not even kidding. When I tell you I have unk energy, I mean it. My brother is actually going to adopt this year. So I will actually physically be an uncle. Like, that's not even a joke anymore. It was a joke for a while. And now all of a sudden, I'm like, holy... I will literally be an uncle. It's... Yeah, it's not a joke. It's a reality at this point, though. Where's your brother? There's like a very specific, like, kind of not elite, but just like very specific program that he is a part of in where he lives. How do you make the party? This is base party frames, actually. I need to set up Dander's frames, to be honest with you. I think Dander's frames is like the next thing, because I thought Cell was going to get updated, but unfortunately they never updated it. And I was really upset because I really wanted to use Cell, to be honest, but unfortunately, Cell does not appear to be getting updates. I mean, it hasn't been updated yet. The developer said that they were working on it, but I don't know. Otherwise, this is just base frames. I'm not really using add-ons for frames. Yeah. So we'll see. What's this? A weapon? Oh, I'll take a weapon. I've got a spear, but I don't... It's a one-handed weapon, so I need another one-handed weapon to use it. That's cool, though. You don't think Cell is going to update? That's unfortunate. All right, GG's. Do we want to do a little bit more? I heard that today. Damn. All right, so I got to set up Danders then. Congrats, Drebs. If I do 4 raid bosses on looking for raid and then 2 on heroic, all my slots are heroic? No, you will only have to, you only get 1 slot as heroic, though. Also, your best item both slots and ring string, and then you can trade. Yeah. Wait till you're 58. You're a young pup. I mean, I don't feel like a young pup. I feel kind of like a pup, I suppose. I like being on all fours. But I don't necessarily feel young. I feel old now. What do you think about the Blizzard Plater? Rainbow. Actually, highly recommend you get somebody's Plater or Platinator profile. Let's go. What next? What next? We have a few things here. You can do it. Yeah, that's true, Deco. I feel like you can definitely find time to game, though. What's up, Owls? We did Terrace. Let's do... He said locked. Let's do Seat, I guess. Well, what's an easy, fast dungeon, then? Seat fast? Or let's go Algathar. AA. We can go Algathar real fast, if you want to stay Druid. If you want to stay Druid. That Druid is good, though. Seat and Algathar, let's do those, yeah, real quick. That's fine with me. I can't use this weapon just yet, unfortunately. I can use it after. Okay, yeah, I can teleport, though. We can go Algathar real fast, so I have the portal for it, right? I think it counts as having a portal for it. Algathar Academy, yeah, I'm porting. I think the in-game frames are kind of cool. Got everything they need. It kind of works. It's just, I think in Raid, I was feeling a little overwhelmed, maybe. I kind of wish like my frames were a little different, but I think that base frames work. I used them all throughout beta, and they ended up being all right, to be honest. They weren't like the worst thing in the world. I've learned so much from your VODs. I love them. Oh, I'm glad, Venom. I'm really excited. The last 3 dungeon guides I've posted, I think, are really good. The one that I posted last night to Patreon, I don't know if I did the best job on that. I thought it was a work of art, but I guess it requires you to have already done the dungeon to really understand it. A lot of people were saying that they had a hard time following that like masterclass I made for Skyreach. So we'll see. But once the season starts, I'll have put a whole bunch of the keys that we end up doing, because we'll push early on Venom. So I'll show you live, basically, like how we do the keys. This is all still set up. I just need base item level so that I can go do the keys next week. That's all. Play any healers yet? This week for M0, I don't mind healing. I don't mind whatever. I just need to do the keys. We're just trying to, like, the idea is I don't want to go in with these green pieces next week because I won't be able to just go into a 10. Like, my plan is mostly play the druid, max the druid out, and then it's like 1 to 4 keys tops on my ults. It depends on how many people are playing with me. Good morning, Oceano. What is the best thing to do to hit 90? I'm 89. The campaign is done. You can dungeon, you can delve, you can... Few options. I would say delve, probably, if you haven't done the delve quests, Rainbow. Just full send the delves. You can go do each delve once. You can also do professions, it's true. Pick up tailoring. Tailoring will get you half a level very easily. So I would highly recommend that. It's a good call. Good shout. Good shout. I think you're going to get 10 on your main and then grind to 10 on alts as well. We're going to see. I don't know exactly how many I am or am not doing, to be honest. We'll end up seeing what vaults look like next week. I'm not sure. Is the druid coming to AA, by the way? We're kind of pulling this like everybody's here, but actually, you know, no one's here, so it's just us. Yeah, we'll have some cool projects for the YouTube soon, though. Yeah, delve. I think the professions are really easy. If you just pick up tailoring, you can do the first few crafts. It's very inexpensive to do the tailoring route for this. I mean, we can just chill. Is the druid coming? We should check. He's actually just a pug, so I don't know if he is coming or not, though. Y'all want AA? We already started. We should just not pull boss until they're here, though. We can go start clearing the other trash. I mean, might as well. Age gonna play all 6 tanks this season? Oh, that's a good question. Sure. We'll start with trash. Super. Leveling took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take this season. And so I'm kind of in this weird spot where I wanted to maintain a lot more characters, but I'm feeling kind of burnt, which is weird because the season hasn't started yet. And I don't really ever suffer from burnout, especially with World of Warcraft. But I kind of am now. So now I'm contending with it and realizing maybe I don't fully maintain all the characters that I wanted to do. Because I can't fathom having to get 4 set and rating on everything. I can do 1 or 2 fully and then have like a few alts. So that's kind of the issue I found myself in. Yeah, I know. And I like it, hell, and I'm happy about it. I don't mind. But I am realizing that I maybe bit off slightly more than I can chew, which is weird because I got some strong jaw muscles. Like, you never underestimate how powerful my mouth is. All right, I can do some things that would make you suspicious. Maybe he gets 4 set. So nope, apparently they fixed that deco. I thought so too. I was so excited, but apparently not. Nope, they fixed it already. That's the problem, deco, is that's no longer a thing, which means that it's either, yeah, that's the problem now. Unfortunate, you know. What's the best tank for Mythic Plus in your opinion? Right now, probably Brewmaster, but we'll see post nerfs and buffs. We'll see after the raid though. Stay 2 for sure. I think that this is the thing. When do they do that? Apparently today, which is super lame, by the way. I know. Well, I don't know if that makes sense though. Hold up, wait a second. How sure are we that makes sense? Because why not let your alts just get 4 set? They're not getting it on Mythic. You're not handing them the Mythic item level. I just, you know, it's just unfortunate that, like, only X amount of people benefited from it. And I kind of wish, now I feel, even though I never would have gotten my 4 set on main, because I'm not in a big raiding guild that would funnel me gear, I still feel bad about it. Don't you? I feel bad about it. I'm like, man, I have FOMO now. I'm like, I missed out. And it's like, that's such a weird feeling, because I wasn't even going to get it to begin with, but I still feel like I have FOMO now. Now I'm just like, damn it, if I had only, you know, committed to raid earlier, or did this, or like did that, I would have gained access to this Giga Alt 4 set stuff, and it's like, yeah, well, I mean, I never would have gotten it anyways, but still, I don't like those changes. How does a prey system work? Oh, I never actually did prey. Honestly, so here's what I know. Because I played so much beta and I have all this knowledge about the new dungeons, and I have some friends to play with this season, I'm going to end up getting 10s no problem next week. Like, we're going to farm 10s, which means that we're actually going to be farming 266 gear very easily, right? And so, I DPS or whatever, though. You're 100% sure they changed it? You're relying on random? I'm relying on 3 chatters, and many of those chatters are incredibly trustworthy that they fixed the tree mustache. These are not just any chatters. In particular, I'm relying on one of the chatters who is a very, very large player, incredibly large, very, very big, very big player. I'm not 100% sure they fixed it though, no, because I don't have foresight, so I can't test it. All right. Whenever Locke gets here, we blast 4 bosses. We just go boss, boss, boss. Yeah. We'll see. How does a prey system work? Seems like you have to just go get the traps or whatever. You're not actually supposed to do anything else. Like, you're supposed to just do traps. Like, you go to where the world quest is for the prey, and you just disable the traps or something like that. That's what I've heard. But I decided not to engage with that system because ultimately, at the end of the day, no, he's not. I mean, he's like a 4K plus type player. The Kazama, yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, they fixed it already. Doesn't say. I was kind of hoping they would just leave it. I was hoping they would just be like, let's just let them have it. Would be very nice. It's okay. Basically, what it means, and the way I do my alts, because I have too many things I like to maintain, is I just want 1 plus 10, and if I don't actually get to play them early on, it's fine, but at least 6 weeks into the season, I'll have, 6 mythic pieces, and I can crest farm then. That's the idea behind it. I guess I'll obviously be playing mostly Druid. I think best tank for this, though, is most likely just going to end up being Brewmaster right now. We'll see if they end up nerfing it or not. The problem is they always deny that they do this, but they 100% do actually. They rely on raid logs to tune tanks, and if Brewmaster is not overperforming in raid, the chances of them nerfing it are low. So I think that that's actually like a really solid argument for why Brewmaster would not get nerfed and why it would still be good for Mythic Plus. It'll be interesting. If we have an actual Brewmaster meta, that'd be wild. The other thing is that, obviously, Eldrazi got buffed again for VDH, so VDH could actually get a nice little look at. Maybe VDH is much better now than it was. Warrior got a slight buff. It's kind of hard to think about how it actually all end up, because on beta, we had just a very different version of the game than we have right now. Like, it's so much has changed, actually, though. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I'll be fine. I should not need healing for this. I know how to manage this, which is basically in a few seconds, I'll just kite this bleed out, or I just dodge because Brewmaster. Yeah, it should be fine. Pretty sure it's doing well in raid, but let me know if not. I mean, Guardian is doing well in raid. It's not doing bad in raid. It's just that it's not overperforming, and the overperforming is what ends up, like, the outlier gets nerfed. Which right now, as far as I know from raid logs, is actually still Guardian. Guardian is doing very good damage right now in raid, both from a general statistic and also like 100% parse. So yeah, I would be worried actually that Guardian gets nerfed again, which would be really sad though. Do you need to add on to log runs? No, you just need to turn it on in game and then just do /combat log. All good. Though you like tanking, a lot of people are like that though. Tanking is such a weird thing because there are 6 tanks in this game, and some of them, a lot of times, for example, people, as an example, they love Brewmaster, but they hate all the other tanks. And other times it's like, well, you love Guardian, but you don't like Brewmaster. So there are some tanks that are kind of polarizing. A lot of tank players think Guardian is just anti-fun. They think it's too boring or whatever. It doesn't fit their play style. So, yeah. All right, so they got buffs. Exactly. And Resto Druid obviously didn't need the buffs. I think they targeted the buffs well, which is basically the Rejuve and Germination for raid. So they get buffed in raid, but they don't necessarily get buffed in keys that much from those buffs, but they also do get buffed. And Prez, of course, gets nerfed because, once again, it's overperforming in raid. And that's weird, right? Let's go back to tree. Yeah. That's okay. Oh. Oh. Yeah, he has to come here. I forgot. We already disabled the wind. There's no wind anymore. You can't die. You don't die from this. We have to just do the boss, I guess. Can he come here? I think he can come. He can come this way. He should be able to get here. We just can't go back. But yeah, the way they tune the game, I mean, there's a video we can all watch together if we want. That video, I think, is probably the best explanation for it. Most likely. I think that's a really good one. Yep. But we'll see. In terms of how the season shakes up, it's just, it was a really weird beta cycle. Normally, predictions are way more. That's exactly what I'm talking about, random. That's the one that I want to do. Do you ever get wrist pain from clicking or playing? No. I was single for a long time, Carmen, so I think both of my wrists are like very strong and durable. They don't tend to suffer from repetitive activity too much. But in general, if you are having wrist pain, then 3 things to know. Number 1 is you can actually strengthen your hand. All right. So like you can do hand strengthening exercises, and that's a real thing, right? As a PT, I've helped a lot of people with either carpal tunnel or like basic wrist stuff. If you have any sort of like pain or numbness, then I would just take a look at your, did this bug? There you go. I would take a look at your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist, and basically you can fix your hand like that, number 1. If there's any sort of physical problem going on. But number 2, is your desk should not be at the wrong height. So for example, if my wrist is here versus here, then that's a problem. We want it to be nice and level and comfortable. So I would take a look at whatever chair you're using. And then what I would do, okay, you want to go fire first side? Okay, if you want to, can. So I would look at those 2 factors first, and then from there, I would make a plan if your wrist is hurting. You can change some of your binds. You can consider, like, if you're playing a tank that has, like, massive APM, then maybe you could play something a little bit more chill. So, like, I don't really like super crazy fast APM specs, and my left hand tends to feel it when I play Prop Pally, because Prop Pally is super spammy. It's like an incredibly fast-paced tank, right? Playing Brew shouldn't hurt your hand too much, unless you're like panicked about playing Brew and then you're like spamming the buttons as hard as you can. Then you would feel it. But Brew should be all right, I think, in my opinion. Do Dr. Dank TV just subscribed with Prime? Yo, thank you for the sub, much appreciated. Thank you for the Prime sub. But yeah, so like you definitely though just don't accept the fact that you have to be in pain if you're playing World of Warcraft. That's no good. So figure out a way to solve it. Carmen, I don't know, how old are you? Like, if you don't mind me asking. You don't have to disclose exactly, but just in general, right? Just because you shouldn't have to worry about feeling good. You're 32. Yeah, fix that now. Don't let that go on for too long. If your wrist is bothering you from playing WoW today, definitely fix that for the future. You know what I mean? Because you're only 32, right? You got a lot of years of playing World of Warcraft. Obsidian goaltending spire. Can I have that? Thank you. But the idea is, does that make sense? You want to make sure that you have good health now because you can set your life up so well. And there are so many things. People don't realize how much you can fix with your body. There are conditions that are lifelong, but so many things that are considered degenerate are not degenerate. And you just need the right information about how to fix it. And that's way more impactful. And just don't accept the fact that you're going to be sick and ill and have pain forever. That's not true. You can fix stuff. It's very important that you know that. And if there's one thing if there's nothing else that I teach you, if that's the only thing I teach you, I'd be ecstatic. Because for a long time, I accepted that my health was just going to be bad. I was like, you know what? I'm chronically ill. I have all these genetic conditions. It's GG's for me. It's over for me. Like, I have to accept the fact that I'll never be able to do this or never be able to do that. And thank God that I didn't keep believing that, because actually that's wrong. There were so many things that I've been able to do. I just had to learn the information of how it would help me. Does that make sense? So it is kind of my life's mission to teach people, well, not to give up hope. It's hard work. It's not easy, but we too readily accept that our life is going to be exactly how it is. Things change. Think about how different your life is today at 32 than it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Things change. More bracers, don't need. Those ones don't need. They got avoidance. Does that make sense? I am curious to know if anybody actually watched the Patreon thing yesterday. Because I thought that format was really good, but maybe it relies too much on actually having people have already done the thing, because it was showing how not to do it, kind of, instead of just how to do it. I can change it in the future, but right now I'm focused on the YouTube guides anyways. All right, this boss. Is there anything I need to spec, by the way? Is there like a trinket that I want from here? Not really, right? I guess I don't want that pole arm, so I can go... Yeah, if I don't want the pole arm, I suppose I could go like this. Loot specialization, Mistweaver. I haven't seen any of the new stuff in a little bit. Watch any? Oh, no problem. I've been uploading a lot. If you guys think I've been uploading a lot, by the way, for regular YouTube, I also have been doing a bunch of Patreon stuff. Have you some up for the top 3 tanks for Mythic Plus or for Raid? Like this week or for next week, Epicurus? Because those are different things. The last video I posted, in my opinion, is a true work of art, but I got some feedback on it that people were like, it's a little hard to follow. I'm not really sure what's going on. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a work of art because I've done this dungeon so many times. And since I understand like all the nuances, but it's possible that it didn't come off the way I wanted it to. Because that video was basically hey, everything you need to know as a healer, as a tank, and as a DPS in one masterclass. Where it's basically like, hey, if you're a DPS player with this, you can help your tank here. Or if you're a healer with that ability. But I guess it goes a little back and forth because I tried to cover all 3 roles in one video, which is not so easy to do. Maybe ring. Spell Boon Saber. I would take it because I have an intellect offhand, though. But the top 3 tanks for keys are going to end up being, most likely right now, I think it would probably end up being, I think Guardian will still be fine. Brewmaster, and then it's between Warrior, VDH, and Bear for the competing slot. I think they're all like a tier below Brewmaster. Yeah, something like that. I think Pally needs a little bit of a buff to its just damage and survivability playing Sentinel. And I think that Blood DK is still 20% off being considered for meta. It's good, but at the highest level, I think that it's still a fair bit behind with no group buff. And it looks to be performing in Raid, so it's doubtful it gets a buff, What about DPS meta? Can there be a mage? I mean, yes, there can be. It would be unlikely, but it's possible. There are a few random things about DPS meta that a lot of people are not very aware of right now. And it could be a shakeup. One of them, this is crazy to say, but one of them is that Ret Pally could be the new Arcane Mage. You heard it here first in case I'm right about that, because that would be a wild prediction. Like, what if you actually wanted a Ret Pally? Like, what if you were sitting there and you were like, man, I really wish we had a Ret Pally in my key? That'd be crazy. But it might happen because of their damage profile with execution sentence at higher levels. Heebie-jeebies just subscribed. Whew, I got the heebie-jeebies from your support. Thank you. The Ellie Shami buffs are good, too. I actually think that spec will be a lot more competitive, too. Ellie Shami is looking pretty strong. I think that you'd have to make a plan for kind of maybe babying it and some survivability things, but you could do that. Yeah. I think that you just still want to play stuff, though. We saved Del Maps for next week, right? You can use them this week. I don't think you have to save them for next week because I don't think the item level goes up. You still get hero either way. And you got to fill stuff up, though. It's the Ruin buff. Can you clarify Ruin buff for me, Denante? And deny every Ret Pally out of principle. So we'll see what ends up happening, but they could be really good. They're just like, there's some potential there. But like, I mean, they've changed, literally the DPS meta has shifted by 30-40%. Like, basically, we had the nerfs to Unholy. We had the buffs to Balanced Druid. Like, Balanced Druid was kind of bad, but then it got buffed by casually, like, almost 20% total. And it's just like, what? Playing red feels cheesy, especially delete prio targets. Exactly. So there's, again, and that prio damage, Narxim, is exactly why you might actually want a ret. Because there's Holy Paladin, like, ret provides a lot for your group. It just has notoriously not had a good damage profile until now. Now it does have a good damage profile. Wait, can I have that Spellboon Saber thing? You got a staff. It's okay, I only need one. Duration between 2 hours or days? It's the... You mean the Vantis rune for the raid? The Vantis rune, Denante. Is that what you're referring to? It gives you a little bit of verse for a raid boss. Would be seat next. I guess we're looking for like a seat potentially, if we want to do it real fast. I need a few more items. I really need like belt, like legs here though. Seat of the Triumvirate has 4 bosses. We can look what it has. Headpiece. I need a headpiece real bad. I need shoulders, chest, glove. Yeah, let's do seat. All right, Seat of the Triumvirate though. How are the Hunter changes? Hunter. I'm curious about the Marksman. I think that Beastmaster is just not doing enough damage. They got nerfed a lot over beta. So we'll have to see. Hunter does have a better... It's got better utility than it used to have with the pruning. Plus the fact Hunter is one of the tankiest specs now. It has the most active cooldowns, like one of the most active cooldowns compared to every DPS. So Hunter's tanky. It does still provide a lust, technically speaking. And on top of the fact that it provides a lust, you've got a fair amount to offer the group, but it doesn't have a traditional group buff. It only has Hunter's Mark, which is not bad. The new iteration of Hunter's Mark is better. So you'll see. Is this heroic splits? Nah, no splits here. I don't want to raid. I guess maybe I'll try to clear some normal on some of the tunes that I care about the most, but not sure though, man. Not sure. Druid's pretty much good to go for next week. Like, I can walk in. I'm assuming I'll be like a little late, so you guys will start before me. But I'm assuming, Deco, that I just log in and y'all might already have a 10 and we just send it. I won't have a problem. I'm like 251 and I got a tier piece. So if I get tier out of Vault, I can just full send at 2K. I can get 4 set next week. So here's what happens basically. I look at my Vault. I fill my Vault completely on the Druid because obviously I want 4 set next week. And then the way to do it is like this. Hard for me to keep moving around, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Venom. Remember to floss every day. Feels like insane AoE, but lacking single target. Mythic plus Feral. Well, Feral just got the buffs to single target, so we'll see how it ends up being in Mythic plus, though. Not Enhancement Shaman. You know why I don't see many? Because Enhancement Shaman is very niche Requiem. It's not a spec that a lot of people play. What's up, Dodson? Hey, Psyduck, good morning. Been a second. Yeah, Enhancement Shaman is super niche. Very low representation on that spec. It's like a unique spec where very few people play it. That's why, even if it's good, very few people play it. That might be before having tier 8, and that sucks. Yeah, you definitely only use the delve map on tier 8 or above bountiful delves. But otherwise, I think it's okay to send this week. Is it automatic send for Crest? You can. Remember, this week, it depends if you can farm 10s next week. If you can farm 10s next week, then you can actually do anything, though. So I'll have another Keg Smash, followed by Fire Breath, followed by Blackout Kick, followed by Keg Smash Enjoyer. Yeah, I don't even Blackout Kick in there. I think I just Keg Smash Fire with this build. I'm playing the build that Shaw gave me, dodging. And so, you know, that's just the number 1 with HPAL follow. Yeah, I mean, Wrestler Druid got buffed, technically. For healers, I swear people are still sleeping on Mistweaver. I would say Wrestler Druid and HPAL are looking pretty solid, yeah. But I really think, actually, really not Blackout pre-smash. Oh, I mean, it was more a joke that you can kind of play Brewmaster with this dodging because it was recommended that I actually just play Anvil and Staff so I get even more CDR. By Nullius? Oh, dude, I haven't done Nullius yet, though. OSRS. Yeah, what's up? That's a flashback. Yeah, I don't know how to do Nullius, to be honest, though. Yeah. So I would say that people are sleeping on Mistweaver as a potential option. Dude, I kind of miss RuneScape. Like, part of me is like, you know what I really want to do right now? I just want to grind out OSRS. But it's not the same anymore. My brain just doesn't work like that. You know how unfortunate that is to realize that my brain just doesn't work the same way that it used to? Like, I don't actually think I would have the same relationship with a game like OSRS. You play it religiously. I mean, it is borderline a religion. You know that. I mean, OSRS has a very interesting, almost cultish vibe. It's basically like playing Affliction Warlock. It is, in fact, a cult. If you unlock Force, I get infinite cast charges. You get pretty much infinite on that character, but not on your ults anymore. So you can Tigers lost this. What would you think if you got a Catalyst item every week or two? I want it to be more ult-friendly, though. There are people are sleeping on Mistweaver, but it's getting overshadowed by Brew. Brew is looking really good, though. I played WoW before, though. Currents OSRS. I have a question for you, if you don't mind me asking. If you've never played WoW before, how did you find my stream today? Out of curiosity. What's up, Darren's? How's it going? Morning, morning. How did you find my stream today? Do you have to do raid? You have to do raid to get Forset early. You don't technically have to do raid fully. You just kind of have to do it. And what I mean by that is if you don't raid at all, then you're relying on your vaults to get Forset. And if your vault is just... basically, here's how it works. If RNGesus reigns from above, and he looks at you, and he says, show me your browser history. And you go, RNGesus, I don't want to show you my browser history. And he says, child, I am a saint. I'm not going to shame you for whatever it is that you show me. And you say, RNGesus, I think you will. And he says, child, just show me the browser history. And you say, okay, RNGesus. And you show him the browser history. You're not getting Forset out of your vault for the entire season. Next week, 3 rings. Week after that, 3 cloaks. Week after that, 3 more rings. Week after that, 3 trinkets that you don't want. Don't show RNGesus your browser history. It doesn't matter how much... It doesn't matter. Everyone is super fucked these days. So just listen to me. Don't show anyone your browser history. Keep that to yourself. They lull you in with a false sense of security. But the way it works, excuse me, is like this, okay? Here's how it works. If you don't raid, then you are technically depending on your vault to give you a tier slot. If you get unlucky and basically 4 weeks in a row, 0 tier, the only way to actually guarantee your Forset would be the Catalyst charge we have this week. The Catalyst one you get not next week, but the week after. So that's week 3. You have 2 Catalyst charges. Then you get 2k IO. And then so you have 3 Catalyst charges. Otherwise, it's actually 5 weeks until Forset. So 5 weeks guarantees your Forset if you haven't wasted a Catalyst charge, shy of getting lucky in Vault. So ideally, it's like 3 weeks instead of 5. And if you're really good and you can raid this week to get a tier slot, then actually you can get it next week. Does that make sense? So it's you really, ideally, if you want your tier on time, the idea is that you want to do it this week. At least try to get one thing from raid. 1 tier from raid guarantees that at least week 3 you're going to get Forset. And that's all you really need. And then what you can do is if you have a lot of gold in game and you have enough, then next week you can go into raid and offer to buy a tier token from someone. Have I played both retail and OSRS on and off and enjoy them in different ways? I think that I kind of miss having a cozy game, but also I just miss Mythic Plus. It's been a month without keys, and honestly, I'm starting to get the shakes a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of starting to really notice that I haven't played Mythic Plus for a bit. I'm like aching for keys. I get this feeling deep inside. I really want to do keys, you know? I know Classic WoW. I think that Classic WoW and OSRS have a lot more overlap than Retail WoW and this, though. No, a lot of people... Classic has magic to it. It's just a different game. It's fundamentally a different game, though. So it's... Well, no. They're different. The real argument for this and the reason that people have such a hard time comparing Classic and Retail WoW... I'll have this conversation. What do you guys think is better, Classic or Retail? Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go right now. Is there a minimum item level? What's your set will appear in vault? No. Here's the thing. You just need to fill your vault with as many slots as possible to obtain. Retail's better? All right, give me your argument as to why, though. You can't just tell me, like, one answer or the other. I want to know why. I wanna hear your thoughts, though. Retail by a lot, but I haven't played Classic in any serious way. Retail, done Classic back in the day, you don't miss it. Why? Because of the end game or what? Probably 258 is insane. That's actually high item level, damn. I'm not 258. My main is technically way behind if you consider that. Completely different. You can't compare it well. So here's my opinion, personally speaking, okay? Classic is actually straight up for, you have to basically give it for its time, right? I think that Classic is a significantly better game. Classic has magic. Retail does not have that magic anymore. As in, you don't play Retail because it's a fantastic game. You play Retail because the gameplay is fantastic. But being a really good game involves emotions. It involves a connection to the game that goes beyond gameplay. You have to actually feel attached to the characters and to the story and to the world. And Retail does not have that. I don't read the quests. I don't really care. And I think that most people nowadays with Retail, especially if you're getting into it, have no context. And context is a huge deal for gaming. Does that make sense? So it's like, the problem with Retail is that they're just going to launch you into some storyline. Like, you imagine you just start with BFA and you're like, what's happening? And the fact that you can technically just walk in and one-shot the Lich King because transmog is cool, but at the same time, it doesn't give you a real feeling of connection to the world that you're in. Retail is not about that anymore. Retail is, this game, once you get to endgame, is the most amazing, giga fun thing you will ever do. There's infinite amount to grind. You can get better. You can improve your gameplay. If you're like a gameplay person, goddamn, this game is amazing, right? But Classic doesn't have that. Classic says, there's no rush. Get to endgame whenever. Endgame is not even the point. The point is that we're going to have the most amount of fun that we can have. And you're going to enjoy the process, and we're going to explore the world, and there's no sense of urgency, and there's no, you don't have to do anything. You could spend your entire day just exploring. You could do this. There's no vault. There's no technical weekly activities. It's just a cozy game that you play because you love it. And that's completely different. It's a very different vibe, right? Where it's like Retail has been moving in a direction for a while now where it's gameplay focused. Like, there is a set of things that you do in order to make your character powerful, and then you keep doing those things because you got to progress, and then you can express that skill through this or whatever. And so there's prestige and this and that, but the prestige in Classic is just who really has the best time playing it. Like, honestly, like, that's kind of the like, it's not hard to play Classic. It's not a difficult game. Does that make sense? Schedule isn't built in on Classic. Well, you don't have to do anything. Like, let's say that somebody plays Classic for 3 months and they're a little slow with it. They've never played it before, and they get to level 47 after 3 months of gameplay. Do you think they had a good time? Let me put it this way. Do you think they've had a good time with that? And my point is this, and here's how you can really consider this, okay? In Retail, I ask you the same question. Somebody plays Retail for like 3 months straight, okay? And they only get to level 87 now with Midnight. Do they have a good time? And you're like, hell no, they did not. They had a terrible time. And it's because there's a lack of connection in Retail. That doesn't mean anything. Why would you want to get not to max level? You have to get to max level. And then when you're max level, again, there's still no story element. There's no real connection. Like, I don't know what's happening with the void or the light or the this. I just know there's a giant cool thing in Silver Moon, which at least feels pretty good, though. And exactly, and that's the thing with retail. If somebody stops before max level, it's like they didn't even play. But that's not true for Classic. Classic, you could get 10 levels, not even get close to max, and you're still enjoying the game. And there's a completely different metric of success. I think that Classic captures that brilliantly. The problem with Classic is that it's finite. You can't play it forever. At some point, you just run out of things to do. And so I think that's the really hard part about Classic, is that the amount of fun you can have in that is finite. But sometimes things being finite give it meaning. Imagine there was infinite updates to Classic, it wouldn't be Classic at some point. Eventually, it would have to transition into a realm because they just won't do it correctly. Nowadays, gamers don't want this sort of long, drawn-out grind that they used to have. That's not how people play games anymore. Games used to be this kind of escape from the real world where we were all playing for the same reason. Does that make sense? You guys agree with that? Like, basically, 20 years ago, if you played World of Warcraft, you were probably in a little bit of socially awkward. You probably didn't have a lot of friends in real life. Like, maybe you did, but most likely not. And you're playing a game because it's your escape from the real world. And it's the world of Azeroth. And you kind of knew that everyone you meet in that game is going to be the same as you. And there's a camaraderie that comes with that. If you meet somebody in the real world, then that's what's going to happen in the world of Azeroth. But that's not actually necessarily the truth anymore. Nowadays, there's so many people that play this game, right? And it's just like, does that make sense? I guess your situation hasn't changed a lot in the last 20 years then. Well, I mean, I'm still a little socially awkward. I'm better than I used to be. I gotta find an active community to be a part of in WoW. I was mid-tier. Did you need Druid? Can roll. I hadn't equipped yet. If the Druid needs it, he can roll for him, though. So take tier set item. Yeah, so basically this week Vault is always tier set because you're going to be able to farm higher item level. You can only get hero in Vault anyway, so just go tier set. If you have tier set in Vault, you always take tier set this week. Unless you get like a Biss heroic trinket maybe from Raid. Like maybe that's the only exception, but otherwise it's just definitely tier set next week. So the difference between Classic, though, and Retail is just how they structure the game in terms of what your incentives are for playing the game. And so you can't really compare them because although they're the same franchise, they're not actually the same game. There's a fundamental difference, though. Does that make sense? And that's my opinion, basically. But I also think that it's important to realize, man, does Classic have something that Retail doesn't, which is genuine meaning and a certain level of depth that Retail will never really be able to touch, in my opinion. Not at this point. Yeah. We should talk about that at some point. Do you get a lot of trial and error? There's a pugging community, so Perky Pugs. Sorry, I missed that. Is there a good way to find an active community to be part of in WoW? There are a few things that you can join to get started with OSRS, but I would say my Discord is always a safe place to ask questions. You could always feel safe, even if it's a really stupid question, no problem. Always feel free to ask in my Discord and whatever community I'm a part of. I will never let anybody yell at you, and if they do, just let me know, and I'll do something. I don't know. Actually, just hopefully, I think everybody knows that my vibes are like, no one should do that. This is a game that we play for fun. I do like optimization, and I do like min-maxing, and that's all super fun. But at the end of the day, this is a game, so we have to treat it as such. And if we don't treat it as such, then we're going to actually just super int our own enjoyment of it. You know what I mean? But I think that how do you find a new community in WoW? Like if you're a new WoW player, like how do you decide what to play? It's a good question. Like where do you start, actually? A flex redeem, I bet. Here. I've been working out pretty hard. I was supposed to go to the gym yesterday. I did not. But I'm going to go today. Real life got me yesterday, though. Got boots. What? What is this? Wait, what did you say? He got one too. Okay, good. He already has the boots. All right, good. I've been gym lacking. Go whenever then. I think this is a good week, actually, to kind of, like, do stuff, though. Drabs, I would have to let that happen, I suppose. It is what it is. I have to honor the redeem. I read all the never saw any murmur lore. I'm pretty big on being part of a community in the games that you play. I don't actually know where you would get started with that. It's a good question. It is actually a decently good question. Like where you would actually get started with it, though. Are you the type that needs to go to the gym, or can you do it at home? I mean, I have a home gym and I work in health and fitness, super. So technically speaking, I'm always doing some level of fitness because, like, my calls tonight, for example, and every day I have work. So when I go to work, I am technically doing the workouts with people. So you know what I mean. But in terms of, like, my own workouts, now the gym is my therapy. If I don't, like, the gym, people, listen, I, in general, am a very happy, joyful person. I like Disney music. I like positive vibes, etc., right? But when I go to the gym, nah, I wouldn't say that that's true. When I go to the gym, it is my chance to just fully express my emotions. So I am like the type of person who would casually, I'm like a screamer at the gym. You know what I mean? There are some people who are very loud in other activities, but I'm kind of loud at the gym. I basically, like, people have this weird opinion of me that I'm actually, like, really scary to talk to at my gym because I'm not Thai. So, like, I'm a foreigner. There's not a lot of foreigners who work out at my gym. And then on top of that, right? Yeah. It's just like, for example, like, exactly, like, Kitty and I are both loud, but in completely different physical activities. Where me at the gym, I'm just willing, like, it's my therapy. Like, I'm just going to lift heavy circles and listen to people screaming at me in my ear until I feel better about my life. That's kind of why I go to the gym. It's not really for, like, aesthetics at this point. It is way more for the mental health benefits. Muay Thai gym? No, I don't go to Muay Thai gym. My body, these are market muscles. You see this, Mickey? These are market muscles. These are not fighting muscles. If we get into a fight, like, basically, if there was ever a situation where I needed to get into a fight, I would let Kitty go first. And then if she needs backup, I'll step in. But basically, she got this. Yeah. Do the finger. Do the finger. That's such a weird thing to do. Here, the finger. All right, bet. So I have a genetic condition. My body is very bendy, you see. So if I was to try to connect my fist into somebody's face, it would also just, I would basically break my hand probably, you see. So, like, I have a connective tissue disorder. And so, like, it's cool that I can work out, but I don't think, I mean, I could stabilize enough to do Muay Thai, kind of, but not really. Like, I'm never going to be structurally sound enough to not just, like, you know. Yeah, my range of motion is a problem, actually. I have too much range of motion, though. Some good braces will fix that. I used to wear braces all the time because I had EDS. But I learned, actually, that if you brace something forever, you end up feeling pretty bad. Makes sense, right? One more, son? Or someone do one more? I got on a little late today, though. Yep. So, for example, people, like, I walk barefoot a lot of places now, and it's really helped me out because when I was younger, I used to wear orthopedics all the time, orthotics and stuff like that. And because, like, my feet hurt, because my feet couldn't brace themselves. I have very, very flat feet. But I had kind of decided at some point as I matured that I wanted to appreciate a certain level of curve instead of just going for pure flatness. And so I wanted to get the arch back in my foot. And so I started walking barefoot. And at first, it was really hard. But eventually, I did actually train my foot to get better. And now my foot grips like a monkey. Now I have, like, good control over my foot, but it took a few years. We can do seat. Oh, no, we just did seat. What about, like, Pit of Sauron or something? Do we already do Pit? No, Pit's kind of long for a 3-boss dungeon. What is the best one to run at this point? What am I missing here? We did can't do this. Skyreach? All right, Skyreach. Yo, you're welcome. Yeah. Feel free to join the Discord too if you need, though. If you have any questions, you can always ask there. All right. So ideally, I just need one or two more things, though. What's up, Condi? You got me into tanking the war within season 2. Nice. Really excited to push your prop pally to its limits this season. Cheers. You're welcome. I hope that you have a fantastic season. I think that, first of all, Condi, if you're a good tank player, you're going to have a great time this season because there will be a tank shortage. And so I think that if you are like good at tanking, you're going to have a really good time because you're going to be very wanted. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to play tank this season. I don't know. So an AoE ability is about to pop. That was a weak aura thing. There is some version of it now, but not crazy. So we need the actual 4 main slots still, like legs, belt, headpiece, shoulders, chest. Then we'd be good though. I've converted to Unholy. Nice. How did you even level this many tunes? Took me 2 weeks. I played degenerately, burned myself out, and regretted it immediately. Pretty much. Yeah, like I probably did a little bit too much because I have struggles accepting my own limitations. When people tell me I can't do something, I kind of have this naturally rebellious thing where I immediately want to do that thing. You know? Hello. Oh, sorry. You can send me. Oh, you need healer? I do, Ace. Drabs, you have so much gold. You should send me gold. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Drabs? You already have enough gold. Send me gold. You can't do push-ups? I can. You know? I want to play a tank spec for Mythic Plus, but DPS and Raise. Would you want Druid or Warrior? I mean, I can do push-ups, I guess. Is the rogue coming back or no? I guess I told him that we had Ace. You can come if you want, though. Calandia in queue. Calandia. Oh, wait, no. Can we leather stack, though? I'm trying to leather stack Ace, if you have a leather person to bring. I'm kind of waiting a second just to see if we can find out, like, a druid or a monk healer. Yeah. Because I want to be done with this guy today if possible, because I really need, like, just a few more items until I'm more comfy for next week, but I don't need to do a crazy amount. Just a little bit would be enough on the Brewmaster. I'd like to just get, like, a few more pieces, and then once I get a few more pieces, I'll be set on the Brewmaster, and then starting I can work on the prop pally, and then after the prop pally I can work on this, and then after that, well, I can work on that, and then after that I could work on whatever. Many things to do like this. Yeah, that is the thing. So we can wait a second. That is the idea behind it. So it's better if I can, like, try to class stack now so I don't have to do this a bunch. Malaysia. Okay. Hello. Thanks, Art. Thanks, Ace. So now we would just wait for, like, a quick leather DPS or something. I don't even think I need to do that much else. Like, I don't think I'm going to actually end up raiding probably on different characters. We'll have to see how it ends up going, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to really raid and stuff, though. I feel like an Demon Hunter for tank and Havoc. I think that VDH getting those buffs is kind of interesting. I still don't think you're going to see it in a meta viability because Devour also got buffed, and Devour is going to be really good for keys. Are you still not on my B tag? Because this is my B tag right now, and I'm pretty sure there are 600 people on here, so you can try to add me if you'd like. If I have a room, Ace, I'll take you. But otherwise, I'm going to have to start deleting people. So we can just yeet somebody off the B tag for you, no problem. I got you. You sent it? There's a monk right there. Let's take him. Ace. Accept. Did I get you? All right, cool. Ace, there you are. Nice. Yeah. I gotta actually clean this up a little bit. So we can just go here. Ubisoft. Some marksman hunter from a 15... All right, we don't need him anymore. Sorry, Ubisoft. We're going to get rid of him. Tyr. I remember this guy. He's a good healer. I remember him. That's Tay. Turducken. I'm available for keys 16 days ago. You have no friend note, Turducken. I'm so sorry. Remove friend by Turducken. Tris Kadika. I don't know who you are. You haven't been online for 5 months. Apologies. Bye-bye. And, Wreath. Let's see. 1 month ago, very good Fury Warrior double timed AA 15 day 4 of season 1. Damn, that's hilarious. Cool. Yeah, the friends list is kind of... I wish that you could just have infinite amounts of people on it. That'd be cool. All right, Skyreach it is. I want to play... So, Savage, good question. I feel like Druid is a lot more flexible in terms of its off-spec roles because Warrior is pretty niche, as in you only have Arms and Fury as an option. So I feel like Druid is a better pick, personally. But it also is preference. Both will work at the end of the day. At the end of the day, both will work, though. No, you're fine, Ace. Take your time. Go to the bathroom. We can start clearing trash, of course. Yep, no problem. I wonder what I want today, though. Warrior for vibes, Druid for diversity. Depends. I mean, again, it's a very preferential thing. Like, I'm not a huge fan of how DPS Warrior plays, generally speaking. So, personally, I would want to play something like Druid, but that's a big preference thing. We can start. Ace will come whenever. I should be geared enough where I don't really need a lot of actual healer. So you'll notice, even by the way, in a Mythic 0, if you've watched any of my tanking guides at this point, the funniest thing is you're going to see me do the same stuff even in a Mythic 0, where I'm still tanking in the same spots because this type of thing becomes repetition. You end up just... You get, like, crazy reps when you do this on repeat. And since I've already been playing this dungeon for, like, a while, it'll be interesting. Yeah, and by the way, that video, that is a spell stealable buff. Because it is magic, so you can totally spell steal it. There's a 30% haste buff on that. Hey, Elrath, 15 stream streak. Nice. Very solid. Thanks, Elrath. I'm glad you like my streams. If you like opposable thumbs, that's true. There's the Den of Nalarak. You won't be able to interact with the item as a druid. I guess with tier set acquisition, I don't know how many alts I'm really going to be able to like maintain early season. I guess we'll be kind of focusing just mostly on the druid for now. That's okay. Once the Mythic Plus season starts, there's at least things to do. And I will have a lot of passion, I think, at that point. I think the passion will come back. Hopefully. Whoops. I thought we would get that first kick. I'm not sure. But next week, there will be an infinite... Now, from next week, there will be an infinite number of things to do. The real question is, and you guys tell me what you think about this. I am curious. I will never, by the way, I have never done, in the history of my stream, I have never done a 24-hour stream. Okay? Now, not only have I not done a 24-hour stream, I have never done a subathon. Just never been something. Right? I've done some like cool birthday streams, I guess, like this birthday stream, but that's it. I've never actually done any of these sort of long stream type stuff. The question would be, I kinda am so hyped for Mythic Plus next week. Should I attempt a crazy stream, or should I just pace and basically say, well, we're playing every day, so no need to go that hard that early on? What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Your honest thoughts about how I should structure my stream next week. I'd want to know. What is overall DPS? Wizard, it has no bearing whatsoever because item level, don't look at overall DPS in a Mythic 0 as any sort of metric for how the season is going. Definitely do not use Mythic 0, by the way, as a reference for that. Blade, intellect. Oh, I forgot I'm set to Mistweaver right now. It's okay. As long as we were well supplied with cheesecake and ice cream, it's possible. Yeah, I'm curious to know how I'm going to end up doing it. I just know I'm like super hyped. I'm really excited to play next week. Maybe I don't stream like every day in the next few days. There's technically some Mythic Zero that I want to do, but otherwise there's not that much going on. So we'll see how I end up doing the next few days before this, though. Nope, I'm good. I got a cloak already. We would be looking for any of the main slots and stuff, though, but I do not need that back. Yeah, I do. Maybe like cheesecake or some ice cream would be good, TH. It could happen. Could happen. I just know these days it's not like a bunch of bad stuff has happened. It's just I've been maybe a little overwhelmed. So I don't know if I've been taking the best care of myself. I feel like I've been maybe doing like a little bit too much. And so although I am excited about all these things, it's a little... I'm curious, basically, to know how I can take better care of my mental health. My mental health is super important to me. It's probably the most important thing. It used to be my number one priority when I struggled back in the day. It was like, man, all I want is good, successful, like mental health. But it's changed a lot since then. Because nowadays, it's sort of like I take it for granted a little bit, even though I don't want to. I don't mean to take it for granted, but I kind of do. So I feel like I don't always take the best care of myself because of that. Does that make sense? I can do better at honoring what it is that I actually need. Work in progress. I'm only 29. I have time. So instead of worrying about all of those very real, very significant actual life things that I might have to contend with later, I'll just play World of Warcraft, and I'm assuming that that will solve all my problems. In general, that's how I go about my life. Works very well, We're getting double loot from this place. Why are we getting double loot, by the way? Both bosses have dropped 2 pieces of loot. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. But all I need now is an actual slot. I don't technically need it. I don't need the boots, no. It just depends on a little bit, though. What race of druid is your favorite on both factions? I want to say... To cancel me, he woke up and someone had stolen his car. That sucks. Oh, Noob, I forgot to look at your bench video. You sent me a video. I wanted to look at it. I just forgot. I've been very overwhelmed. I'm trying to keep up with things, but I am struggling a little bit, though. Oof, a little bit. Ugh, face tank this here. So is Blood DK just dead? No. The thing to understand about Blood DK is that it is actually a very good tank. It just won't be meta at the highest level. Does that make sense? That's the key for understanding about Blood DK. It is an incredibly strong, powerful, very solid tank. It just won't be meta at the highest level of keys. So you're not going to see it in any sort of world first type keys. Does that make sense? But to be fair and to understand the conversation around it is that it is actually very good. Brewmaster Monk just has too many. Why am I getting... We got double trinket again. There's a fist weapon there with the Voidance. Plus there's this. I got this Radiant trinket. I don't actually need this trinket, unfortunately. He could take the fist. I don't really care about it that much. Okay. Now, technically speaking, I should be able to basically do this. Nope. Okay. So I failed the roll. I will definitely need to practice this in the future. I'm going to need a summon because I wanted to practice it. There is a way for me to do that, but I did it wrong. It's that gust right there. Hold up. I try again. I gotta say, Blood DK is fun to play. It's slow, and that's the problem with it. But overall, it is, in my opinion, very fun. It just may not be for me. Whoops. Nope. I failed again. Okay, I'm trying to learn because there is a way that Monk can do this, but I have to practice. That is the problem. Did they pull some mobs up there? Hold up. Put your port down, just in case. Oh, that's a good point, actually. So it's, yeah, it's, I have to roll and then jump. Nope, hold up. It's a roll and then jump with lighter than air. It's just, I have to get the lighter than air. And this is the thing. It's actually, this, I don't know if it's because I don't understand how to do this. Or if it is because, no. I don't want to try the gateway. I want to try that. It's that right there that was supposed to do it. Oh, well. This pug dude is probably like, bro, what the hell are they doing? Oh, I'm red now. Hold up. Yeah, we could just gateway. Wait, why don't we do that gateway in the future? Wait. That gate in future is kind of giga. Could we do that gate in the future? That's kind of nice. We can all take that, right? Hold on, let me repair my... Wait, I can't mount in here. Uh-oh. All right, I guess I don't need legs anyways. It's okay. I'm the pug monk. Oh, okay, gotcha. I need to know if that always works. Yeah, if that gateway always works, that's actually pretty good. Sorry, we're just messing around. Hi, Sonny. Yeah, that is actually kind of massive. If that gateway always works, then yeah, that's pretty cool. Is it only doable from the top down? That is a good question. There's another gateway that we were doing before, but I don't know if it is consistent or not. I also was thinking about push keys, the fact that you might actually go left instead of right here for push keys. Still think that outside of push keys, it's very toxic to go left with all the tank bleeds, but maybe there's a world where... I hate the fact that my kick is melee instead of 10 yards. That actually is one of my most frustrating things about Brewmaster thus far. How are you liking Windwalker, by the way? I think it's one of my favorite specs, to be honest. Like, I really like Windwalker. It's such a fun, interesting spec. I kind of wish they did more with it, to be honest. Windwalker is Biss. What's up, Olaf, though? You may need them in future situations. That's true, Hellraiser. You know me too well. I will always need repair hammers. It's true. I should definitely have them. I should definitely have them. You're not wrong. Ugh. I feel like I need white monsters today. Like, normally I am the white monster, but I feel like today I'm just, like, either tired normally or tired in, like, an abnormal way. And so I'm just feeling, like, a little extra fatigued compared to normal. So, yeah. It's true, Emil. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've never actually had, like, a true... I'm not, like, an energy drink sort of person because... You know what I mean? No, I've never had one. Like, that's the thing. Like, I actually don't know what they taste like. I just supposedly they work well. I can't even handle coffee. Like, if I drink coffee, I'm, like, way too caffeinated. So, if I can't handle coffee, then I don't think that a Monster energy drink would be a wise decision for me. And you never know, right? Like, maybe it is exactly what I'm missing. Perhaps I will actually learn that is, you know what I mean? I'm not sure, though. White Monster tastes like Sprite, basically. Dude, I love Sprite. I'm like a big Sprite. Like, whenever I've had people visit Thailand and they want to go to perfectly reasonable, normal, definitely not scandalous or debaucherous clubs whatsoever, I love Sprite. It's like one of my favorite things about going to these locations is that I get Sprite. Because you have to order a drink at places like this. So I always basically go for a Sprite. White Monster is grapefruit flavor. What is grapefruit even? I haven't had a grapefruit in... I don't know how long. Very long time. Yeah, no idea. By the way, I am factored. If you are, I am sponsored. I have my second sponsor, which is a really cool way for you to support stream. If you are interested and you are in the U.S., I am now factored by... I am now sponsored by Factor Meals. So if you are a U.S. citizen, or you basically live in the U.S., you can get it at a very discounted price, which is pretty cool. No double thing here. Oh, there's a chest. I mean, do you need the chest? Why did we get double drops, by the way, this entire dungeon? Each boss dropped 2 items. I'm not complaining about it, but that's weird, right? Oh, that's a huge upgrade. That's 100 item levels. Very solid. Thank you. Thank you. That's big. Why do you realize that we got, it's a win. It was weird though. Gonna go practice that gate? Yeah, let's do it. Chest upgrade, sorry. Oh, no problem. What do you mean? You needed it, Void? I'm sorry if you needed it random though. Why couldn't it have been a Wu Tank F? A Woof Tank F? It is just a Wu Tank F, yeah. What item level do I need to do to be M0? M0? Nothing. You don't need item level for M0. Just put together your own group if you actually think. If you think that you're not going to get invited, like you don't have enough gear, then just do your own group. Like you can tank M0 at like 190 item level. It's not actually the end of the world. You don't really need item level for it. Like technically I'm tanking it without legs right now. So that doesn't actually matter. Yeah, like even like 190 would be it. You would just get hit kind of hard. Maybe have to go a little slow, but you could totally do it. Okay, can he replicate the gateway? It looks like he's almost able to do it. You could buy auction house items. That's true. You can also, I would just recommend if you're not 200, you can just quickly go to auction house. That's a good point. They're very cheap. Just don't have to buy the expensive ones. Just buy the cheaper options and at least fill out your slots. Did you get it? I mean, that does work. Can he replicate it, though? How consistent can you get it? That's a good question, actually. Because that actually is good tech for keys. I mean, it would save like a good solid 10, 20 seconds having to not go around if he can do it. I can get this every time. Giga. Saves like 20 seconds, to be honest. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. If you can do that gate every single time, that's kind of nice. Yeah, I got you. Okay, so now my Brewmaster looks a lot more put together. I still think that I'm missing like a few things that I might want for like a 10. I think I'd be able to go tank a 10 though. At least with these pieces here, I would be able to do that. So that's nice. Noob, can you make a command for me, by the way, and do basically... Can you just put here? I'll try it. Only for yes peoples. Maybe that. Could you make a command that's just factor and it just says that? That would be good. Thank you. All right. What next are we doing? So we're going to repair this. The question is, I think that was it for Arson. He might be done for tonight. If he is here, though, need to see it with the wind. Good point. Could try it. I'll try it next week. Would be cool. Do you want to do any more? I don't know if you need any gear. I don't know what you're actually doing this, though. That was easy if you take a pause. The wind, you look like you're pretty geared. You got your Prism Max puzzle box, double crafted claw already. Damn. You're like set. You were very geared here. You just need legs, it looks like. Legs and boots for you, huh? Wait, somebody got boots. I thought that... Did you need them? I'm pretty sure... Does Random need the boots that he got? Otherwise, I feel like I didn't need them. But I think somebody might have got boots that you could trade to the monk. Potentially. Okay, so... Do I actually care about these last 10 item levels here? That is the question. That is the question, right? There's support me too by trying your code, US only. Pretty much. That is the idea, yes. And then we got to include the actual link to it, which is here. That is the key now, is we would do it this way, though. Build for Feral Druid is here. Midnight DPS build. In here. I wonder how hard 10s will be on next week. 10s are going to be this interesting thing where it actually depends almost entirely, by the way, on whether or not you played beta and have experience. Because item level doesn't matter, by the way. Item level doesn't matter. I mean, it kind of does. You have to have like minimum item level. But people are going to be learning. I'm going to have a video coming out in a few days, right before the season actually comes out. Super important. It's going to be one of the most important videos I ever make, which basically has to do with this. Tank, of course, for you, it'll be fine. It's so important that we let people learn. You have to next week, your keys are probably going to be terrible. Just let people learn. You understand? Don't yell at people. Everyone, like, you might know what to do because maybe you watched a guide. The vast majority of people don't watch guides. They don't actually play beta. They haven't checked out my YouTube videos. They don't know what they're doing. So they're learning. And it will suck because a lot of your keys will get inted even at a lower level, a +2, a +5. It's not going to go according to plan. And that's okay. It's actually the most giga time to like make friends and develop new connections and build your B tag. And you're going to meet some awesome players, right? But don't yell at people. Does that make sense? Like, just try really hard to remember that everyone's going to be learning together, and that's actually awesome, right? Like, that's BIS, the fact that everybody's at the same level. Done for today, Arson? All right. I think that I'm kind of chilling with 235. Like, maybe I send, like, a few upgrades. I get, like, a vault. I guess to really finish my characters, now that I have base item level, the vault will look like this. So what we need to do is finish the delves, and then maybe if I actually was to potentially think about doing a little raid or something, but basically it's mostly going to be doing a few delves to get some slots here, and then going to the Paladin next. And then after Paladin, I'm not sure. We'll see what I have time for this week. I have some Warbound 220 items that I can also give to my characters and stuff. So we'll see what happens. All right. No, Druid's already done. Druid is already like 251, and I got a tier piece from Raid. I do have to finish a few more fights. Like, I want to do Dream Rift for the chance at another tier piece, because that would actually ensure 4-set for tomorrow. Next week, I would guarantee myself 4-set if I actually did the full. If I got 2 pieces this week. So that would actually be the idea, though. Yep. That is the plan. Super exciting, though. I just scam Forling around 6 normal rounds, 0 tier pieces. Want to die. Yeah. Sofka is tough. Like, I was willing to offer. Actually, so I was on my Druid, right? We killed the normal Paladins, and this Monk got a tier shoulders. And I was like, how much gold do you want? I just messaged him, and I was like, how much gold do you want? Like, name your price. He was like, okay, considering it. I was like, 200K. He said, no. I was like, okay, 300K. And he goes, no. I was like, 400K. And he was like, I'm going to keep it. And I was like, damn. It's like, that was the only tier piece I saw. And then I had to go pug another one. And then I killed Dragon. And the Dragon, I natty won the roll. So I didn't have to spend any gold on it, which is awesome. Next week, my plan would be go into a big raid and then just offer an exorbitant amount of gold for a 4. Because if I get 1 piece on my Druid, then that means 4-set. Gonna go do Pally probably. Unless Ace and Random, do you guys want to do any more keys by chance? Dragonflight level price 1 million. Nah. 1 million, not worth it. Ace Random, do you guys want to do any more? I don't know if you guys are done for now. It's kind of time consuming. Yeah, Heroic I haven't done, actually. I didn't even do Heroic, to be honest. I just did... I only did normal. Nothing else to do. I'm maxed on Wrestler Druid and Holy Pally, so I can help if you want. If your Holy Paladin, how geared is your Holy Paladin? You want to do Prop Pally, Holy Paladin, Plate Stack, maybe? I don't remember if your Holy Paladin could trade all the gear. 247? You could trade most things. Do you want to? It's up to you. You don't like have to or anything. But if you're bored and you want to just do a few Mythic Zeros real fast, it'll help me out. It'll be good. Because I also then want to do my Warrior too. I feel like I'm fine with like 235, 230, 240 or whatever. You gotta stay awake all night? Why? Why do you have to, why do you have to stay awake all night? I can even send a few upgrades here, of course, as well. Going into night shift? That sucks. What do you do for work again, Ace? Dude, night shift is tough. That is not easy. All right, let me see. 10s should be interesting next week. So yeah, I have the discount here, so I only have 25 Adventurer Dawn Crest though, unfortunately. I think I actually save Crest for next week because I can just start on the Druid, and then when we get the max 266 from keys, it'll be all right then. All right, swapping around. Unless Sirocco, would you like to stay for more keys? It depends. Random doing more. If y'all want to do more, I will bring my VDH for like a key or two, because I could use a few more leather pieces. That is up to you, though. I can do more if you need, only if you want. In that case, do you want to stay Resto Druid? If random will stay, then I can just bring a VDH and grab a few pieces. It's like, technically, I need a bunch more on my monk would technically need, like, headpiece, shoulders, belt, legs, but if I don't get those right now, that's okay. All right. I'm going to go swap over so somebody will get bleed real fast. I think Arson said he was done for tonight. No problem. I'm glad that we could at least do something. Oh, I hit my desk. I hit my desk. I hit my desk. This is a standing desk. I just don't use it. Yeah, so the way it works right now is that these characters are technically going to be the ones that I focus, and I'm just not sure I'm going to be able to do, like, the DK or whatever. 9 out of 10. I prefer 7 of 9. I hope one day there will be some fail protection for tier pieces. Yeah, I think that tier is too impactful, self-cut, to have it be tied to RNG like this. I worry about what that... I think it's not good either. Because it feels so bad to, like, have to try to raid for tier if you don't want to. I kind of miss when you could choose what to do in-game, if that makes sense. Like, you used to have more of a choice, I swear. But now... maybe. Actually, that's not necessarily true. But I think that gaming is at its best when you're not forced into doing stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, TH. It already kind of feels like this last little bit... I can't imagine being the race to world first. I couldn't do it. That'd be insane. I haven't even logged into my VDH. All right, I'm 196. You ready? This is it. This is the moment. This is my moment. I'm ready. All right, invite. I got this. I can do it. I can do it. There's kind of there. You have Kata and Volt. So that's a much better than it used to be. But even then, it still feels bad. I don't know, like, just the way the game is structured nowadays, it still feels kind of bad. Ace, did you want to stay on your Resto Druid at all? You don't have to. It's up to you, though. I have, like, 5 characters right now, so neat life. It's not sustainable. I, unfortunately, have a real job and also, like, a life, and it kind of sucks because I didn't used to have a life, you know? I used to be degenerate, debaucherous, lecherous, dubious, nefarious, virulent. I used to believe all those things, but nowadays I'm actually an adult. Yeah, I know. It sucks. I don't know. Maybe I did the wrong thing. X to down. Yeah. Some of those adjectives were a joke, obviously. But the idea is, you know. All right. What did we not get locked to just now? Do we still have, like, Nexus or Random? Are you locked to things right now? Could we do, like, something like Nexus or what do we have? A 4-boss dungeon? Maybe, like, Windrunner? 0. I don't know if you guys are locked at all. It's better than it used to. You still have the feeling you're behind. Yeah, and I really like pushing early for keys. You don't have to do that, by the way. There's actually 0 reason that you have to be pushing early on. You know that. Like, that's one of the things that I'm doing to myself. I'm not locked to anything. If you just want to chill, I know you're kind of geared already. I think you need legs, so that was it. But you're welcome to come. Thanks for coming, Slutty. I appreciate it. It's cool to see a Windwalker. There aren't that many Windwalkers left in the game because, unfortunately, Blizzard... they sort of just, you get ignored, you know what I mean? Like, you exist, and you're just out here doing your best. You're just doing your Windwalker thing, and Blizzard is like, who are they? And you just, like, there's literally 0 patch notes for you. And mages get, like, paragraphs of information every time a blue notes come out. But you're, like, you being a Windwalker is just sort of, it's the hard knock life, you know? You don't have 3 months moved over here. Yeah. How are you enjoying Midnight thus far? So did you just come back? Did you play, like, the last season of The War Within, or did you just come back, Slutty? How's your, what's your goal in Midnight? I'm also in an adult now, but at least I can afford a new PC. It's true. I mean, like, yeah. Crayolas. Crayolas! I remember you. Oh, what's up, Arson? Yo. Hey, Arson. Should we take Bad Dragon? I kind of want to take him on just principle alone from the name. Yo, what's up? GG's. I am basically so excited for next week. I don't know if I'm actually going to stream the next few days. Like, I might take a few days off to really try to decompress. But we'll see how many tanks I maintain. But the idea is that next week, right, I'm assuming that you'll start before me. And then by the time that I actually log on, it's very possible that you'll already have a 10. Like, I'll just start with the Druid. I got one tier piece out of my raid. And so it's like, whew, maybe I can get 4 set next week. And it's like, let's blast. Like, we'll gear 266, like, within the first few days. Just smash some keys. And it's like, yep, that's the plan. It's good, though. Yeah, I don't know if I could Grim. It might be tough. All right, cool. Let's go. I'll see if I can maintain a few things, though. VDH looks kind of good, so we'll just grab a few pieces from M0 and we'll send it. All right, porting over. Wait, this is set to the den. My bad. Oh, I got a summon. Nice. Very nice. Have a great night, Arson. Good luck on your guide. I'll see you in the new season soon. The new world. It's like when a new supermarket opens the third world. If you're not in front to grab what you need to get out. Yeah. That's actually not a bad comparison, Red Canonic. It's true. But also, there are just some really important things to remember about how this next thing is going to work, though. Yep, it is actually insane. So there are 2 big things to understand. These are massive pieces of tech. Straight up, by the way, this is literal tech. It's not even like a tip. This is straight up like you really got to know this information, all right? First and foremost is the early season, the first week, is the best time to network and build your friends list because you have no idea who you're playing with. But if you're somebody who hasn't notoriously pushed very high in Mythic Plus, you might be playing with people who will. And you won't get access to them outside of the very first week. So if you do a key, everyone's just going to be farming 10s for the first week or 2. So even if they're going to be doing 20s later, they're starting with 10s. And so there's an equalization that happens. Everyone's on the same level playing field. So it's super impactful, basically, to have that going. Does that make sense? You really, if possible, like if at all possible, try to push early. Like that's the best time to take off of work and kind of just like chill and enjoy the season. Pushing early means easier pugging, correct. And even if you're like off meta, as an example, like let's say that you're pretty off meta, doesn't like the trick for being off meta is early push. That's the actual like solution for being an off meta class. It's just early IO means a lot for most people who play this game. There's going to be a ton of players who are actually gaming, and so you might have a hard time finding groups. But it is so impactful to get that early IO, and it is worth it if you can. If at all possible, do it. Is Devour off meta? No. But the problem with Devour is that there's going to be so many of them that you're just competing with a whole group of people. There's going to be a ton of people wanting to play Devour, so the real hard part about that is just you're going to be competing with a whole bunch of people. Does that make sense? That's going to be the actual tough part of Devour. Is like if they have one more item level on you, you can guarantee basically that you're going to have however many Devours in your queue. It's going to be like the new Rat Pally, right? Because it's going to be the new thing and very popular. So normally things like that, it's just hard to compete sometimes. If that makes sense. So that might be the issue with playing Devour. But I think that Devour, I mean, they already buffed it on this last set of notes. Which, to be honest with you, it did not need whatsoever. But it got. I think that Devour will be very strong. It's a very safe pick, you know. You're almost certainly going to want one. If you're a tank player, early on, I seriously think that there will be a tank shortage because tanking is the hardest job to learn in a new season when the routes aren't developed. Unless you watch YouTube guides, like if you watch my guides, you'll have a pretty good idea of how to tank the dungeons, but most people won't watch my guides. Like very few people actually spend time absorbing WoW content outside of World of Warcraft. So it's unlikely that anyone will have actually been able to watch the guides or have played beta. Like that's just it's not a reasonable expectation. So in general, people will be learning together. And it is important to remember that as the season starts. And there's already a tank shortage in M0, though. What's up, Hobbit? Also, Henry, I'm glad you like the cat videos. I'm very surprised that the cat videos do so well. I just basically log into TikTok and, Instagram like once a day, and I post one reel, and also on Facebook now. And god damn it, some of them have like 10 million views. It's kind of crazy to me because I'm not really like a social media person. I actually don't really like social media. But yeah, I just log in once a day, post like a 10, 20-second reel of me and my cat being funny. And then all of a sudden, it's like, cool, across my platforms, I have had 20 million views in the last 30 days. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot. That's pretty good, no? I don't know exactly how it works, but... yeah, I think it's cool, though. Do you think tanking became much easier? Nope. I think tanking became harder this season. Relative to everything else, tanking is harder. And the reason is because healing and DPSing got so much easier, right? Sovka. So healing and DPSing is way easier, but tanking is exactly the same. There's many of us out here owned by the cat gods. That makes sense, to be fair. That makes a lot of sense. You're at the top of your algorithm every time? Damn. He is very cute. I just post once a day. Like sometimes, I don't know, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I post something. Sometimes I think it's funny and like, oh, it doesn't actually take off, but that's okay though. What tank works best with single button assist? Ooh, good question. You know what I actually feel like? It probably is, I don't know for a fact. I think it's probably warrior. You don't even have to play with single button assist. You can macro. There's a shield slam macro that you can use with shield block, play heavy repercussions, and you play shield block with ignore pain macro to shield slam. And you basically just hit that and thunderclap and then use your cooldowns. I think that that's probably your best bet. I'm not a healer guy, so why healing is easier? Healing is easier because we got the feather. If you don't need, I'd love you forever. Healing got easier because the amount of procs you have to track in order to min-max as a healer, in order to actually just play the game, it's a lot more straightforward. Healing used to have a much higher learning curve than it currently does right now. So I think healers got easier because the dungeon pattern shifted, where actually it's harder to heal. Let me think about this for a second. Let me think about it. Because that's actually not true. The actual dungeons are harder to heal, give or take. So I can't actually tell you that it's like easier to heal. It feels more rewarding to heal right now, I can tell you that. Does he need it? Oh, roll for it. Yeah, he was tanking there for a second. He had big burst. I'm low item level. Oh, party chat was split for me. I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. That makes more sense. Random got it. If random, of course, if you need that trinket, take it. This guy is just an alt. I literally get all the cat videos anyways, to be fair. Fair. He is pretty cute. He is adorable. Okay. Yeah, I would say basically it's just the fact that healers are much easier to play. The pruning to healers actually remove button bloat. That's a good way to put it. Thank you. So there's less buttons to track as a healer, whereas as a tank player, you pretty much have, you're shy one button, but it's the same role as it was before, so it's a relative difference. I need more salt. Holy shit. I need salt and I need sugar and I need to stand up soon. Okay, hold up. Let me stand up. I gotta stand up here. My camera might get inted if stream randomly disconnects, then so be it. But we gotta stand up. I'm feeling lightheaded. Big standing desk moment. Come on. Stay. Don't do it, camera. Don't do it, camera. I see you there. Come here. Come on. Up you go. All the way up. You got this. There you go. Good job, camera. My camera survived. Kind of. Thanks for showing me the Mistweaver. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm trying one currently. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Twinkies. Resto Druid is kind of the same. Resto Druid has significantly less procs, right? And I think that that is what makes Resto Druid easier, like not managing a double life bloom, etc. I think that Resto Druid is much more straightforward than it used to be. You don't have nearly as much to track, but technically, actively, it doesn't play that differently. You're fair on that. You're welcome. I do think Mistweaver is the most fun healer that I played on beta. I personally want to gear my monk so that I can play Mistweaver most likely. Yeah. There are some healers that are quite similar, but overall, the fact that there are less one-shots really benefit healer in particular. Like, you're not as dependent on your DPS perfectly sending their defensives, and so you can actually make more of a difference. Like, you can carry this season as a healer much harder than you could carry before, which is impactful, and I do think that that does matter. Holy Priest is very straightforward now. Yeah, it's not even the most straightforward. Like, I think that Mistweaver is very accessible for the first time in forever. I think a bunch of things like that. Mistweaver is actually pretty decent right now. Like, very easy to understand and how to play. There are certain... the only healer that got significantly harder was Prez. But I'm excited to heal this season. I think this will be a fun season to heal. Oh, let me put my headset on. Let's blast some music, man. I am just tired today, man. I feel like all this prep work has really tired me out a lot. I still have Bulwark, the healer main. I wouldn't mind it, to be honest with you. Like, this season would be a really fun season to be a healer main. I'll still end up being a tank, I'm sure, but technically speaking, it would not be a bad season to heal. It's fun to heal right now, Mua. Leg reps. You guys need legs? I think actually both need... I think my other person needs it too, though. All good. You need it, right? Yeah, the monk needs it. I need it and the monk needs it, but I don't know if the Hulkano needs it. It doesn't seem like he needs it. My last blue. Yeah, give it to the monk first. No. Trade to monk first. If there are two, that's great, but if not, trade to monk first. This is just an alt for me, though. How does Prez feel? I've not played it. So the problem with Prez is, like, their removal of Spirit Bloom and Emerald Communion actually made it much harder. That's actually the problem. What are we listening to now? I don't mind it. The removal of Spirit Bloom basically makes it so that you get way more punished for your ramp getting messed up. If you end up messing up your ramp, then you're kind of messed up for healing. The Apex talent being tied to Dream Breath kind of limits the flexibility comparatively to how Spirit Bloom used to play. And you don't have any sort of oh shit button anymore, because you used to, at least if you messed up and you were a little bit delayed, the very least you could actually depend on the fact that Communion into a quick life bind Communion ramp would full heal your team, right? But you only have Rewind now. And the fact is, if you only have Rewind, then you don't have as many things. Yeah, Prez is actually pumping in raid so much, it's getting a 5% nerf next week, which is problematic, by the way. Very, very not great. Truth or Combat I used to really recommend. I think Platinator. You got to get a Platinator or a Plater profile, but you don't actually need combat add-ons. Just these two would be enough. But having like proper enemy nameplates is, I think, a must-have. There are a bunch. You can take mine from Discord if you so desire. You can use mine as a base and customize it yourself. I should make a video about how to do that soon. But yeah, the base enemy nameplates are not so good, to be honest. So that's what I would think about. But I think that that's like really impactful. Like it's so helpful to learn these dungeons with a Platinator or Plater profile already enabled. What you don't want to do is go into these dungeons blind without them, because the Blizzard default UI has very little information about what mobs do. Whereas here, I can clearly see that this guy is a mini boss. I can understand where the casters are, what the dangerous mobs are, etc. There's just so much information that you get that you don't have access to with base frames. So I would highly recommend it, yeah. This is the one add-on I think is kind of like a must-have. I can see when things are targeting me. Can't see that with base frames. I can understand like what cast is actually important. I can see all sorts of things though. Playing download Ellesmere UI. That what I would say. I think that Ellesmere UI was also looking pretty good, but I need to actually go get Dander's or his UI. Either one is fine for me. I was looking forward to Cell. They said they were going to update, but then they haven't updated, so I probably need to get something. I was healing with base frames for a long time, but I don't think they're really going to be... Like, I think it will be an advantage to have some extra thing. Yeah, Cell's not coming back, it looks like, unfortunately. As sad as that is, it appears as though it is not coming back. I like standard frames. I don't think standard frames are actually, like, banned. Like, they do work for what it's worth. You can actually use standard frames. Cell's back, I thought. They said they were coming back. Yeah. He said he was updating it, but that he was slow. I'm in his Discord. So he put like a little update, but I don't know when it's coming back. For me, I just don't like change. I'm not a big change person. Does it help targeting enemies as well? Yes. Yeah. So part of the Platinator is like, you can even set, as an example, by the way, though, for what it's worth, you can actually set on your Platinator how the range of their frames clicking. So for example, I could make it so that this frame here, if I click over there, it'll still target him. You can make it like much easier to target things, among other things. It's pretty cool. It's on the party. It's all modular, so you could toggle any part of it though. I think I like what Ellesmere was doing with it, so I'm curious about it. We'll have to see. Lots of tuning during Heroic. Are sure that balancing can be solved for Mythic Plus? Nope, we are not. We are very unsure about this, in fact. We are, in fact, not only are we unsure, Zogre, but we're probably... we're doubtful that it will get balanced properly for M+. That's where we're at now. It seems unlikely, let's say, at this point, that they're going to somehow get the balance right. I think it's way more of the expectation is like, we don't know what we're going into next week. Maybe it'll work, maybe not. Do you need those shoulders? You need those shoulders? Yeah. I think next week could be a little rough with balancing, potentially. They kind of made beta a waste of time. Yep. Although you get to learn the dungeons. So I would say that the best part is that you get to learn the dungeons. That is not a waste of time. Like getting to actually learn the routes and like practicing healing, tanking, DPSing, learning all the nuance of the dungeons. That's immensely helpful. But in terms of like checking out the tuning of specs, oh yeah. Unfortunately, massive sort of failure, I think. Unfortunately. And also like they've changed some hero talents now where like, oh, you were testing, for example, you were testing only Annihilator on VDH because Eldrachi was nuked, and then Eldrachi might be back, and so maybe that changes how that's played, or this and that. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff though. We don't have good balance. We'll see though. Spend all the coffer keys from Delves this week? Yeah, you can just spend them this week. Next week, they're not going to be that impactful if you can do 10. So I guess the big question is, if you can do your 10s next week, then all gearing this week is irrelevant. If you cannot get your 10s next week, then the gear does become relevant, because it basically depends. If you can get 3 vault slots on Mythic next week, then you're not actually going to be doing delves at all, because your vault will be max with Mythic gear, and you'll take that 100% of the time. So you don't really need to do your delves for like a big vault. Does that make sense? However, if you can't do 10s, then your heroic, like your big delve vault, will be equal to the item level you could get from keys. And so maybe it would be worth it at that point. Ooh, grats. You got the trinket, by the way. You got a trinket. Yep. Do you need shoulders, by the way? Nice. Cool, I'll take the shoulders. Who got the trinket? Oh, the monk got the trinket. Do you want it? Yes. I think we all want it, potentially. But I think that's like this trinket for most people. There's still a chance to loot Dell. You will have a chance to get the tier set, I suppose, but it's really difficult to think about tossing, like not actually just casually taking your mythic slot. Like very, very strong chance though. Didn't say nothing. I don't know if it's good for monk because of haste, but in general, it's a trinket that a lot of people are after. I want to listen to good music today. I mean, if you don't want it, I'll take it for item level. If anybody here really wants it, though, they can take it. To be fair, if you can do 10s next week, then all of this gets replaced. It's just for item level now. It's worth until 4 set is completed. I'm not sure I'd make that choice. I think Mythic is too valuable. Especially if you're like me and you're not Mythic rating. It's my only access to Myth track tier. So, oh yeah, of course. So, since it's my only access to Myth tier, I don't think I would take Heroic tier instead of Mythic. Yeah, that is a good song. Yo, what's up, Mick? How's it going? Oh, it's going pretty good. I'm a little tired today. I'm fatigued. I'm having to be an adult recently, so I feel like bleh. Kind of like a, big bleh. It's the same as your stuff. It depends if you want it. You can keep it. I'm not that fussed. If you don't, I'll take it for item level. But everything gets replaced anyways. Random, everything gets replaced next week unless you want it here. If you want, cool. It just helps because I have these trinkets, and it's better than that. Solid. Thank you. You still cutting for fitness reasons? I mean, I got a feather I think you can have. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Good question, actually. Not... Yeah. Fair enough, though. So, I don't know what I'm doing with my physique right now, Hobbit. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing in my physique. Part of me wants to just bulk again. Part of me wants to keep cutting. But I don't really have that much more to cut. I'm feeling quite lean at the moment. Like, I have my abs are back. Like, I have 4-pack instead of 6-pack. But I don't necessarily need to go all the way to 6. Like, I don't need to get that lean. I don't have any photo shoots coming up. I thought maybe I would book a few. But everybody's busy. So since I don't actually have any photo shoots that I have to do or anything like that, I kind of don't think I'll keep cutting all the way down to like a really lean shape. But I guess we'll see over time. Once we're in the swing of the season, gearing will be less stressful. Yeah. How do you show boss's energy bar on Platinator? Good question. Like, which boss's energy are you trying to find is a good question. You guys want to do any more? I don't mind doing like one more on the VDH. Just like a few pieces at least make it so that I can do stuff next week. You guys want to do one more? Don't have to. Only if you want. If we did one more, it should be a 4-boss. What's the other 4-boss one? Not Mysara. We did Magisters already. We did Algathar, right, random? Yeah, we did Algathar. We have done this. We did Spire. Nexus is 3. I guess there's actually a lot of 3-boss dungeons now. We did Seat already, right? Random, I think you did Seat with us earlier. So I guess it's Skyreach, and we already did that too. All right, let's do... What's a fast one then? Nexus? Sure. Cool, Nexus it is. Been But yeah, the real question is, I'm not sure exactly how long I'll be, like, if I'm going to be streaming the next few days. There's a very real world where I actually take the next few days off stream, by the way. We'll see. We'll have to see how it goes. Maybe, maybe not. I will let you know in Discord. In general, boss's energy bar showing a nameplate. You might not be able to because they have because of the coding nowadays, the mana bar is hard to find. So I'm trying to think about that, and I don't know if you can. Because I don't think you can show energy for some reason or highlight it in the same way that you used to, because that technically counts as like a mana bar. And they have specifically made it so that you can't do that. So I'm not sure. I don't know the limitations on it, to be honest with you. My Platinator is a great base for people to use, but it's my first season ever making it, so I'm not exactly like very, very up to date on like exactly what to do with it. I'd highly recommend you can use mine and then customize it from that point. All right, Nexus real fast. That's what I would do. But I don't know how to do that though. Be kind. Well, no, I mean I want to play too. Like keep in mind, there's a few things that I want to do, and it's like, well, if I'm here, I'm trying to Grim. It's a work in progress actually. Yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm simultaneously incredibly good at taking care of myself, but I'm also very bad at taking care of myself. You think Mana Flux will start dropping Tuesday in Mythic Plus if you have 4 set already? Yeah, probably, Azragan. Do you have 4 set already, though? You have to have 4 set in order for it to drop, and it's not account bound anymore. It is, in fact, specifically character based. So you have to have it on that character. Do you? Damn, how'd you get 4 set already? That's impressive. Good job. Well played. I respect it. Yes, and you have it already? Nice. Very cool. Nice. Good for you. I am praying that I get it at a vault. So maybe I'll stream like one day. I don't know. We'll find out. Pug raid? You just got it in a pug raid? What? That is incredibly lucky. Respect. Congratulations. That is very nice. I did normal and not a single plate. You tanked it? I mean, I tanked the raid too, but I only saw one of my tier tokens drop the first time around. I offered a bunch of gold for it, and I didn't get it. And then I went to refill the one boss I hadn't killed, which was Dragon. And then I happened to natty kick it, though. They about kick me? That's insane. That's good luck. All right, Azargan, this is your season now. This is your season. It's your time to shine. If you have 4 set already, that is very lucky. Nice. I do think, actually, as funny as it sounds, you know that this is more stressful than actually the season will be. But I kind of agree that this week is technically more stressful to gear. There's more FOMO of like, oh, well, if you don't set this up right, you know, if you don't, for example, do everything you got to do today, then all of a sudden you're not going to be able to get your 4 set for 5 weeks. You're going to be a whole month behind. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. So it's like there's so much pressure to like get everything done now. But actually, soon there won't be. And I kind of look forward to that. I think that I'll feel a lot better when there's a lot less pressure, where I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to log in and do keys. You know what I mean? Like I'm just, for example, like I'm just going to send it. I'm going to do some keys and then GG's. And then I log in and I do some more keys. And if I want to play some ults, I'll bring them to keys. And that's it. You know what I mean? Forrest crafted an int weapon. Did he really? Did he? How? Wait, Forrest made this mistake, Mua? Damn. Unfortunate for the homie. That sucks. I'm sorry, I was waiting for one leather person. We just do... This is probably the last Mythic 0 for today. Behind already? Damn, that sucks. He can't replace that too. They don't let him fix it. Maybe he has a direct line because he's one of the best things though. His Nightmare and Pug, no comms. Yeah, I think that boss could use a little bit of a nerf potentially. Big Bad Worgen. Oof, good name. We're waiting for somebody who is above 247 item level and is leather. And then we will go send this. Welcome back. Oh, thank you, Aladdin. Well, you say welcome back, but keep in mind that it might not be welcome back very long because I might not be streaming the next few days. I'm really trying to just take as much time off before the season starts, you know? That's what I'm trying to, this is what I'm trying to do. I basically just want to have a nice Mythic Plus season, but I'm not a huge fan of what this week represents of like this big RNG, hey, did you get the thing? If yes, then you're powerful for the next month. And if no, then unfortunately for you, it just sucks, you know? Like eventually a month from now, it won't matter, but there's this weird thing where it feels really bad. Like if you're a competitive player, it's complete RNG if your tier drops or your trinkets drop. And it's weird because there's so much excitement and hype to push keys when Mythic Plus comes out. But if you get unlucky, you know what I mean? Like it's over kind of. And it's weird. I don't know. I wonder how they could fix that in the future. Like, I don't know if they can. Maybe it's just a result. Maybe it's just a part of gaming. Like, perhaps. We can start clearing trash, by the way, as we find the last DPS. They'll come over. I guess since we're all here, we could just start. Do you know what I mean, though? I don't know how they fix it. The big question I have for myself right now is, if we don't get any bits today, am I just ordering myself ice cream anyways? I got lucky? No. Azragan, nobody's mad at you. You're fine. You're chilling. I'm happy for you. Us bears got to stick together. Oh, no, in the raid, I could see that, though. Better off having two piece. No, you're fine. It's good. I'm glad you got your 4 set. If we're all here, I guess we could start, though. Do you have to raid to be competitive? So that's the question, actually. I think that it depends if you are that depends on what type of gamer you are. If you are a tank player, I don't think you have to be this season. What's up, Pash? It's going okay. I've just got a lot of alts, so figuring out what I want to do with them, though. Like, figuring out how many I can actually get done. My druid is doing pretty well. I could use one more tier piece to guarantee 4 set next week. Only so much I can do for that, though. But the idea is, as a DPS player, if I told you that you might be 2% behind everyone else, right? Make your way. It just sucks all the BIS trinkets for DPS or healers, but not for tanks. Actually, tanks have some fairly competitive options that are outside of raid. Now, maybe I'm going to lose 1% damage. I'm okay with that. And the biggest thing is that I won't be able to save crests on mythic gear because I won't have access to myth track gear. So I'm really basically doing this. You know what I mean, though? Can pass on everything else. Chest and gloves. All right. All right. We mostly funneling me. But can roll if those drop. So realistically, I don't want to raid. I'm not a big fan of raid. It doesn't fill me with joy. If anything, I'm just kind of like, oh, it's a chore for me. And I don't really want to have to do chores. That's why I feel like I'm burnt on WoW, by the way, because I never get burnt on WoW. The last time I was burnt out in WoW, lo and behold, was the first month of the War Within. And you want to know the time I was burnt out on WoW before that? Was the first month of Dragonflight. I actually hate this preseason time. It's a very interesting time to play the game, but I'm not a fan. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm going to be real with you. It's not for me, man. It's so weird. Like, on one hand, it's like super hype, right? Angel Razor shit. Wait, 3,000 bits? Yo. Was this first time chat 3,000 bits business? All right, bet. Well, first of all, I'm ordering ice cream. Second of all, hello. Thank you for 3,000 bits. That's nice. All right. What ice cream should I order? We have choices. I'll give you the choices here. We can get Dairy Queen or McDonald's Sundae. Both of them have decent sundaes. Okay, hold up. Wait a second. Thank you for the 3,000 biddies. This is ice cream territory. I am now feeling energized and rewarded. Okay, I can do this. Interesting. I'm gonna ask Kitty if she wants some too. You are buying us ice cream. Thank you very much. I accept this. Ooh. Wait a second. I want to order it now, but I'm taking a key. Okay, right after this, I'm ordering ice cream. Very delicious, though. Yes, you do. Fantastic, Kitty. What do you want? Dairy Queen or a Macadee sundae? Preference? Would you like a Blizzard? If we get Dairy Queen, we can get you a Blizzard. Wait for the res. Preference? Dairy Queen, please. I bet. Dairy Queen it is. As someone who doesn't enjoy raiding, things like Frog, Tainted Rage and Dragonflight, yes, that does suck, but there's nothing like that anymore. Quiz. Nowadays, you don't have to raid if you're a tank player. I think that if you're a DPS player, you might be losing 5% damage, and that sucks as a DPS, though. Give me something back. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Angel Wrath. What videos, if I could make any video from this point, what would you want to see out of curiosity? That's a question I've been thinking about, is like, okay, so in the season, I've got all these cool plans for how I want to be doing things, but if I could make any video, what do you think you would enjoy the most? Take time for yourself and eat that ice cream. It's okay to not be in a constant state of momentum. I am struggling with that. I'm not going to lie, Hobbit. There's a part of me that just thinks to myself, look, I'm an adult now. I'm kind of more responsible for myself. There's so much that I have to do, and there's a lot of pressure, and I have bills, and, you know, like it can get overwhelming really fast, and I feel like I always have to be doing something. I've been casually, because, you know, I have a real job too, so I've been casually working, like, just a lot, and I don't ever take days off, and because if I take the day off stream, remember, I'm still either recording stuff or doing things behind the scenes for stream, or I also still have my other job. So, you know what I mean? Like, I never really have, like, a day off, and then my schedule changed. Some clients changed their time zones with me. The daylight savings has made some overlaps. So all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I have, like, 0 days off. And I actually think that I have not been taking very good care of myself. So I will attempt as best as possible to take better care of myself. I make no promises. It is a skill that I am attempting to learn. But it's hard. It's hard to balance it, because on one hand, it's like, again, like when I was a kid, it was a lot easier. It was like, look, mental health takes priority over everything. But now it's like, but also, like, I gotta pay rent, and like, but also I want to do this, and but also I have to take care of my health, and but also, like, I want to be a good partner and a good cat dad and a good this, and it's like, I don't mind the challenge of having a lot on my plate, but at the same time, it feels kind of overwhelming sometimes. And in my better days, it's no problem, but sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm just like, you know, like, I think I just need to learn the skills. Like, I think I'm 29. If I can learn this by the time I'm 35, I'm set, right? Like, I have time to learn it. It's just, it is a lot these days. And things are going well, so, like, I don't want to complain about it. It's just a lot, you know? I think, you know what I mean? And Angel, thank you for the bits. Those little gestures, the fact that people like my content actually makes a big difference, by the way. Like, that you might be surprised how much of a difference it makes when I just see, like, a really nice comment, because I do feel kind of stressed, but then people will be like, yo, this guide helped me, like, a ton. Like, please, thank you. Like, thank you so much for making them. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I'm so glad that it helped, and, like, it makes me want to keep doing it. So I appreciate all kind comments. If you take the time out of your day to say something nice, then I appreciate that. Includes time to take a look after. Yeah, I know. But I will say that for tanks right now, worst case scenario, if, you don't have to raid, and that's one way, by the way, that I am helping myself, is realizing I don't actually have to be raiding this tier. You know? You did say that, Aladdin. Thank you. And that's actually pretty cool, is the fact that because I don't have to raid, I've cleared up a lot of time that I'm just going to have available to myself. So I can just focus on keys. Again, it's so weird that technically speaking, I have to do more work this week before keys even start to get ready for next week when keys actually do begin. Isn't that weird? I find that to be weird. There's actually more to do this week before the season starts because of how WoW works. Thanks, Draxel. Now we take every day for sanity. Sometimes that action is ice cream. Oh, I'm not worried. Like, again, my health is a big priority for me, but I, if anything, eat too little. So one of the things that I can do for myself, by the way, is actually eat more. Like, if anything, when I get stressed, I don't eat. Everybody has the different way of handling stress, but when I feel overwhelmed, I just start skipping meals. So, like, actually eating more ice cream is tend to be pretty helpful. It's very difficult for me to eat enough calories to maintain any amount of muscle. It is very difficult because I really like fitness and I like working out, and working out is my therapy. So the more stressed I am, actually speaking, the more that I will do for fitness. So that is like an easy feedback loop that I can get into for myself, and that helps a lot, though. I used to drink oil, actually, Dal. I don't do that anymore. I mean, for like a little bit, it really did not work with my stomach. And of course, later I found out that if you have gastroparesis and you start drinking things like oil, it has it sucks. And I didn't know that back in the day. But yeah, I used to drink like, I used to do castor oil a lot. And it never really worked for me. That was back in the days of the castor oil, coffee enemas, colonics, etc., when my stomach was bad. No fun. But yeah, Wise 1K, I feel like everybody almost expects you to just have all those skills somehow, but like you have to learn them, right? Like they're a skill like anything else. And so for me, I think to myself, hey, I'm really happy about where my life is, and like I'm very proud of myself. I think I'm doing incredibly well, but I have to actually just honor the fact that those skills are not something that I've taken the time to learn properly yet. Does that make sense? Like my whole life, because my health problems were so bad for a long time, it was so clear what I needed to do. My life mission was incredibly obvious. It was like, yo, you gotta solve your chronic disease. Like, if you don't solve this, you can't work to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, by the state, by the way, in America, legally speaking, I am, oh boy, wait a second, I can't even say that on Twitch. As hilarious as this sounds, I have to not say this next thing that I was about to say. Because I think that's, even with context, I'm pretty sure it's bannable. So I cannot say that. As funny as that is, yeah, I can't actually finish that story. Never mind. Point is, my whole life, it was so obvious what I needed to do. It's like, you need to get on the other side of this. And a lot of the same platform names. You know, technically, I am streaming, and you're correct that I'm supposed to do that. However, you know, I guess part of it is also learning how and what to prioritize. Yeah, but also, Wise, you realize that both you and we have 100% success rate, right? Do you practice decompression? I have a space with little to no stimulation. As I've gotten healthier and I've gotten older, I've also gotten to the point where it's like, I don't need as much downtime as I needed before, but I still need some. And that is the question of, how do I manage the fact that I do still need that time? Because I'm a hardcore introvert, so I don't like going outside. And I need basically just like my cave. Like, I just need to basically retreat into my own space. But ideally, I can retreat and do the things I want to do, like Mythic Plus, and not have to like raid and do all this other stuff like this week. Because normally WoW is my decompression. Like, I can decompress through playing my favorite game, but I feel like I don't have this, though. No, I mean, I used to need so much more. But I mean, Kitty knew me 7 years ago. And my life 7 years ago is so different than it is right now. I guess, apparently, I don't know, Kitty, have I gotten funnier over time? Or I feel like my sense of humor has yet to improve. So maybe that'll happen after 30. But overall, I'm a significantly improved version of myself. And I'm very proud. Because this was not a given. Like, the way that last year started and everything that I went through when I first started streaming and all this, though. Got that unk humor? Yeah, that's true. I'm ready. I'm ready to be an uncle. I think I'm going to be a great uncle. I just need to come up with some really offhand remarks so that if I ever do get to meet, like, my nephew or my niece, right? Then what I can do is I can just be like, oh, back in my day, this. And they're going to be like, oh, Unc, you can't say that. And I'm going to be like, oh, fuck you. Like, I think that's how you be a good uncle. Like, you just have to say some absolutely out-of-pocket stuff and then, like, hand your kid, the thing, like, something they're not supposed to have. Yeah, I think that's how you do it. I feel the same about the preseason stuff. I think that's usually what I do to relax. Yeah, sorry. Hi, Shego. Hey, Shego. Is Guardian Druid still okay for Mythic Plus? It's absolutely fine. In terms of whether it's going to be, the top dog, is it going to be the most meta tank? Maybe not. Maybe it won't be S tier. But it will be okay, yes. It's not going to be the F tier. It's not in the dumpster or anything like that. If you like Guardian, you'll still be able to play it. Don't worry. Yeah. Do you think I would be a good uncle, Sheko? I feel like I would be a good uncle. But yeah, basically why. So I feel like I actually, as funny as this sounds, I haven't had a game to play to actually relax. Because even if I don't want to play, like, let's say I take 7 days off stream. I took 9 days off stream this month. Not this month, sorry, in 1 week. This month, I have taken more days off stream than any other month, I think, in the last year. I've only streamed like 4 or 5 days this month. I took all that time off. Normally, when I take a day off stream, I don't turn on my PC. Or maybe I'll do some keys or something, but I'm like, hey, I'm really going to take this time to, like, go do something different. But recently, you say 9 days in a week? Yeah, what's up, Saucy J? Hey, how's it going? Yo, Saucy, I really think, by the way, I'm really considering starting my own podcast at some point. Heavily considering it, by the way. But the idea is, yo, what's up? So, yeah, he's so productive. It bends the laws of time. Hey, a chess piece. Nice. Okay, I cannot trade the chest, though. I'm sorry. It is mine. You sure the stuff you did with Shaw was nice? Thank you. Yeah, I think the stuff I did with Shaw, the stuff I did with Artemir, like, there have been a few videos now where I'm like, that's a podcast, and this is a good one, too. You needed boots, right? You needed boots, right? Podcast, what would it be about? No, like WoW. Like a WoW podcast, Draxel. A World of Warcraft. I could call it The Chair. What do you think? It's 2026. People are way more into chairs. It's way more accepted than it used to be. 20 years ago, nobody talked about the chair. But nowadays, it's a little bit more accepted. Or maybe I could call it the Potty B. What do you think? Comes before the Potty C. Just think about it. Just saying. There's a lot of potential for what we could do with this podcast. I mean, Kitty and I thought about doing some sort of podcast at some point. We were going to talk about, like, chairs were always a hot topic. It's okay. Sometimes I feel like my humor is a little bit too subtle, and then I make it not so subtle, and then it's less subtle, and now it's not as funny, but that's okay. You either get it or you don't. I accept. Okay, so we got the chess piece there. My VDH, that's at least a few pieces now. I guess I can look for some Warbound stuff, but I feel like one more Mythic Plus run, like 1 or 2 more would be really helpful. Just like a few, because I couldn't tank a 10 at 208, you know? Still be down as a regular guest. Yeah, I think you'd be a good podcaster, though. And more I'm missing my Arcane Bear from last season. Play both. You could probably play both, probably, right? Well, even World Quests have more than this, though. The Cast EP. Flip the script on them. Elrath, you think I'd do good on a WoW podcast? Also, let's order some Dairy Queen. Yo, I really, seriously, Angel Wrath, if you're still here, thank you for the bits. That is nice. I really was kind of hoping that because sometimes if I put like a little bit goal for the ice cream, right, it doesn't need to happen. But I really won't order ice cream if I don't hit the bid goal. So today was going to be one of those days where I was like, no, I'm probably getting ice cream anyways. So this helps. Thank you. Food. Deliver. How much do you think it will cost to deliver Dairy Queen to my door in the next 30 minutes? Would you like to wager a guest? Oh, paper, bro. APM is so high, so I'm trying not to fall over. Play Sentinel if you feel like paper. It will help. Which is in a better position? $15? Numantia. Try again. Less. It's way less than $15. Did you do any housing? I am not the target audience for housing. I did not, in fact, do any housing. Malden is closer, but that's because Malden already knows where I live. Do you know where I live, Numantia? Y'all have to compete with some weird stuff. I'm going to get a chocolate sundae for me. Kitty, what do you want? I want a Kit Kat one or the caramel almond one with chocolate chips. Okay, Kit Kat ice cream blizzard. This one? You want a Kit Kat ice cream blizzard? Or do you want an entire ice cream cake like we got you last time? Because there is a Kit Kat ice cream cake, which is the same one that I got you before. Again? No, I'm assuming you don't need it, right? Time for a second cake? How long did it take you to eat the first cake, Kitty? By the way. Yeah, how long did it take you to eat the first one? We will get you a Kit Kat ice cream blizzard. That cake was a blessing and a curse. Yep. Is Guardian Druid still looking? Yeah, it's looking fine. Don't worry about it. And you also had a friend help you too. That's right. Mega hot deals. Use code MEGA. Oh, wow. Okay. Wait a second. What's this? Buy 2 Blizzard. Buy 2 Sundays. Oh, you can get a deal off 2 Sundays. Interesting. Do I want 2 Sundays today? Hello there. Hi, Michak. How's it going? Ooh, I can get 2 chocolate sundaes. Delivery, by the way, will cost me it'll cost me less than $1. So let's take a look at my card here. Offer limit has been reached. Okay, so we don't need this. Delivery will cost me 45 cents to be exact. Y'all live in some weird places. I don't know why you guys live where you live. Honestly. Do you like your country, wherever you're from? So I'm going to get 2 sundaes, 2 chocolate sundaes for me, and then an Kit Kat ice cream blizzard for Kitty, and then delivery will cost 17 cents, so this whole order will be $5. I just want an infinite supply of tea. That's true. Yeah. It was like $6 in West Hollywood. You live in West Hollywood? I grew up around there, Sudi. Small world, huh? Isn't that weird? So I live in Thailand now, by the way, all the way across the world. But I went to high school in Santa Monica. So I spent some time in West Hollywood. My dodgeball league. I played dodgeball in near West Hollywood. Yeah. Small world is small indeed. Indeed. Isn't that weird? All right, we get ice cream delivered soon. Thank you. All right, we have reached the goal. I put the bitty goal up here. Nice. A bit goal. But yeah, I hope that my videos can help people. Also, Dalgroth, are you still here? I see you've been on that content grind. Your Instagrams keep coming up for me, though. In Germany, you will pay 30 euros. Insane. 30 euros would literally buy 3 ice cream cakes plus delivery here. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I hear about this sometimes, and I'm just like, what? How is this happening? All right, one more. What do we think? It's a concept to me. It's so iconically American based on what I saw from Recess. Dodgeball was super fun. It was one of my favorite activities. Are you kidding me? Do you guys want to do one more? I don't know about that. Still here, Nikita? Oh, no, I was just going to say, I keep seeing your Instagrams and your TikToks. I only log in once a day, so I don't tend to scroll that much. Yesterday, I spent a bit of time scrolling. I'm trying really hard not to scroll social media, but I keep seeing yours pop up. You want that content grind. You know, actually, a bunch of people keep sending me my reels getting completely yeeted. what can be found on the Patreon? Whole bunch of stuff. I'll show you real quick. So at this point, I need to organize my Patreon because I have so much stuff on here at this point that I need to organize it better. So there's a bunch of conversations I've had with people that are completely free. Keep in mind that most of the stuff on Patreon is, by the way, completely free. But if we take a look here, I can just show you. I do not mind showing you what's on here. So Fox Ears for a minute can do. What's up, Muzz? No problem. I have been working hard on the Patreon over the last few months. So by this point, there's a ton of conversations here. I have no problem showing you. It is a way for you to support me as a streamer. There's no OnlyFans, Obelita. That I do not have. But on the Patreon, so this is like a super helpful thing. You guys see the window capture? Should be up here now, right? Yeah. So we have this Patreon here. And then there's all of these master classes here, right? And then on top of that, there's this series that I made a long time ago. I want to update it soon. But then I post videos almost every day. So there's either conversations, there's like how to set up every character from scratch is a series that I did. So for example, if you're a Blood DK, what I would use for macros a season out my action bars completely from scratch. I did this. There are some different quick tank guides here. There's the Guardian Druid, Prot Warrior, Prot Paladin, basically all tanks. There's a few things I post for early access on Patreon that you won't see anywhere else. There's a whole bunch of stuff like this one. Obviously, I'll always, if you see a collab on here, this is completely free. You do not need. It's just mostly like this one. I never posted to YouTube. It was talking about Warlock going into Midnight with Arson. This is completely free. Most of the Patreon stuff is completely free. It is not actually gated behind anything. This is like a healing masterclass I did for Pit of Sauron. I did a whole bunch of dungeon guides. Some of this was posted to YouTube, some of it not. Blood DK Threat Guide was never posted to YouTube. Current State of DK never posted to YouTube. But these are all still within the last few weeks. So I upload to Patreon almost every day at this point. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. And then through tier 2, there's obviously like the extended versions of guides that I make. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on here if you're interested in joining here, though. There's a lot of like random tips for things. But yeah, I'll be having a whole bunch of stuff to continue on here. Yep. When original beta, I was talking a lot just about like the Apex talents for things like that, etc. Yep. This was a really cool video, actually. I really like this one. I think that it's hilarious to think about what tanks suit what personalities. So this was a fun one. Does that make sense? And then also through tier 2, you can get coaching with me if you're interested in that at all. So you can get coaching through the Giga supporter on Patreon. You get 1 call with me per month. That's what's available there. I started playing WoW and I want to become a tank. I'm assuming it doesn't read in 1 pill. Kind of, yeah. So I think that it's hard to sum up everything that you need to know as a tank in 1 video. I think that's pretty difficult to do, to be honest with you. I will do my best. I think that the how to tank video, the one that's pinned on the channel, is going to be your best bet of where to start. What are we not locked to, by the way? What dungeon left? Is it like Pit of Sauron that we have to do? I think it's this one. We haven't done this one today. But what I would recommend is if you're new to tanking and you want to get familiar with the new season, highly recommend that you just do this. Every day from this point, I'll be posting a dungeon guide to YouTube. Just watch those. Those are the quick ones. They're about 15, 20 minutes each. Those are going to help you a lot. In terms of like the basic guides, remember, I don't want to gatekeep everything. It is a way to support me, and it is a way that I can make some money, which obviously allows me to keep going. Zip hit already on Druid, can jump on Pally. All right, what have you not done? Because I don't mind sending whatever. I just want to do like 1 more on the Demon Hunter. But yeah, Misha, I can also use my Discord. Remember, my Discord is a huge resource for you. So use that as well. You haven't done Seat? I think Random did Seat. All right, you can jump on the Pally then. Send it. No problem, of course. Bring you a Pally. Ask questions on my Discord because in my Discord, no one will ever yell at you for asking a silly question. If you're new to this game, there's so much to learn. Just feel free and feel safe to ask questions. Asking questions is amazing. It's super helpful, right? How I'm doing? Apparently don't know roots very well, but otherwise I'm doing good. Is that something covered in the guides? Yeah, Torpy, 100%. What is it like? What does it mean to be a good tank? I think is oftentimes misunderstood. Your own individual damage contribution, for example, is not normally the thing that will help you, especially early on at lower key levels. You being able to understand the fundamentals of tanking with snap threat, aggro, and basic stuff, that will make such a quality difference. Like, you will be remembered as a giga tank when you can route, pace, group, and do the basic things, and then survive. No one's going to look at your overall damage, and that's not why you'll get added as a tank. That's not really what people look at. So yeah, absolutely. I think that there are so many free videos. I mean, you don't even have to have Patreon for that, Torpy. If you're on the Patreon, there's a bunch of cool stuff, but there's also, depending on what tank you're playing. Torpy, what tank are you playing? I think at this point I've made like threat guides and stuff a lot of times though. There's some range mob. Yeah, and that's, so those are like routing decisions, and I think I've done a pretty good job. You're Prot Warrior. All right, so the Prot Warrior extended video on Patreon I think is pretty impactful. I think that one is actually quite nice. I think I did a fair job with that. I haven't made a specific threat guide for Prot Warrior, but there are a few tips and tricks that I'll show you with that eventually. We'll get to it. All right, sorry, where are we going? We said Pit of Sauron, right? On the way. On the way. Or summon, please. Thank you. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm excited for ice cream now. Yes. But also, if you're on Patreon, you can just ask me to make something. I tend to have a schedule, but like I said, I've just been, yeah, watch. If you're there, I just need to organize it better because there's actually so many videos that I think it's kind of hard to keep track. Like, I don't know if anybody's on the Patreon. I'd have to ask you if you can identify, like, like, there's a lot. There's maybe too many things on there now. I don't think it's very well organized. My Discord is looking pretty good. I think that I'm pretty happy with how my Discord is looking at this point, for what it's worth. I've got my Discord fairly well organized. Let's see. What do you guys think about the Discord here? Hold up. We'll just flash the general of my Discord. There's nothing to hide here. It's no problem. I don't know how I could better organize it unless you guys have a suggestion. You tell me. You have any advice on a new tank, like which class are best to start with? Yeah, I made the video about that. My healer tank, damage, weaving, and DPS. Oh, yeah, it's so unnecessary. Also, just pull safe is another big piece of advice. Sorry, guys, I'll be there in 1 second. 1 second. I'm just going to pull up this video. I made this video for tanks, and that is what I would start with, Novicious. 1 second, because I actually did this. The best first tank to play video. I go over why you would consider the different tanks and the pros and cons to them. So best first healer to play, best first tank to play, best first tank for... yeah, I have two. I have either the best first tank to begin with or the best tank for 3k IO. But I think the best beginner tank is what you want, right? I'm like a new tank. Yeah, I think for new tanks, this is where I would start. This one's good. I got you. That right there. I go over it. But effectively also ask away, you know? Yeah. I started playing. So also, Meech, I would say here, just start with this as well. Like this type of video will help, I think, explain why certain tanks are more beginner friendly than others. And it's changed a lot. Like traditionally, some tanks were considered much harder to play, but not so much anymore. Where now you have a much easier time with certain tanks, like VDH as an example. There's a lot less nuance with the spec, although you're still going to have people who get the most out of it. But at the same time, it's so much more straightforward, which is nice. Yes, Ice Cream will be here probably in the middle of this run. Very exciting. But I just hope, if my content can help people feel more comfortable tanking and healing, I'd be ecstatic. It bothers me how stressful most people are. Like, it bothers me a little bit with how stressed people get just trying to play this game that we all play for fun. Oops. And I wish that didn't happen. Like, if you're tanking and healing, you know what I mean? I kind of wish that was just something that you had fun with. Because that's how I view it. Like, I don't get stressed when I tank or heal. Like, for example, like, as I'm tanking this key, I'm like, oh, whoops, I made a little mistake. It's no problem. But I don't beat myself up over it. I've been playing tank for long enough where a lot of this is second nature to me, so I don't have to think about it. But it's easy to forget that when you're learning how to play, there's so much to think about. There's all of these skills as a tank that, somebody like Dalgroth, for example, who's been playing tank for a long time, might take for granted, although I actually think Dal maybe wouldn't. I'm not sure. He'll have to answer that question. I don't want to speak for him. But I think that the game does a very, very extremely, in fact, bad job of teaching you the fundamental tank skills in World of Warcraft. And that is something that I do wish that they took a look at. They're kind of taking a look at it with the new routing system, which gives me a certain level of hope that they're at least considering it. But it is not anywhere near where it should be. Not even close. Like, this is a whole rant that I got to go on at some point here. What do I... No, I'm saying you don't, I think. There's a lot of chronic tank players who I actually do think take the skills that we develop over time, Dal. I think there's a ton of people who, at the highest level, when they give advice for tanks, don't realize that there are some skills that are just not well understood. And so they can take it for granted that there's just like... Does that make sense? Like, even something like Snap Threat. You just assume that everybody knows what that is, not you. There's a lot of people who would assume that the baseline level of knowledge is like, oh, just call for an external. And it's like, what? And then somebody will say, like, what's an external? And they're like, oh, right. Or even like, I'm talking even like the simple, like that level. Does that make sense? Where it's just like, yeah, exactly. And so it's like, but threat is a weird mechanic that, if not explained, is actually not understood. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. You have to learn what is threat in World of Warcraft. That's actually a skill to learn. But a lot of times it's just expected that you know, is personal. Personal just means that everyone has a set of defensives, right? Mickey, everyone's got a set of defensives. Personal just means you're going to use your own personal defensive. That's it. That's all it refers to. Very easy to understand. Now, a player, not party from hell to move vertically. No, I'm not up to date with what might work for that. A little unsure. I don't know, Foof, sorry. Synonymous with defensive. Correct. Personal just means, so if I say defensive or personal, it's exactly the same thing. Yep. They are not different in any way, shape, or form, pretty much. Yep. Yep. Stuck between Prop, Pally, and Guardian. Which would you have a preference for? You have any leanings one way or the other at this point? I love Guardian. I'll play Guardian then. I'm excited to play my Guardian. I think it's a fun tank right now. But we don't have buff for Pally. Oh, so you have a guild and you guys need a Paladin? I see. I don't think it would be that hard to recruit a Paladin. Paladin tends to be a fairly well-represented class. But I suppose if you really need one, then you really need one, right? And Vicious just subscribed with Prime. Yo, thank you for the Prime sub. And by the way, even if you watch the videos and you have all these amazing resources from any creator, there's still, by the way, you're welcome, and I hope that my content helps. But even with all of that, there's still so much to learn. There's no proving grounds. There's nothing in game anymore that actually teaches you how to tank. So just feel free to ask questions. Don't be afraid. And you have my Discord. If you got any questions, just send them. My Discord is filled with people. Even if I'm asleep, there are some other people in there who will gladly answer. Although keep in mind that if somebody that isn't me answers your question, just take that information with a grain of salt. Like if you say, what should I craft? The first person to respond doesn't necessarily have the right answer. So just beware that you must filter that information slightly. Just a fair warning, yeah. Just because sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be like, wait a second, that isn't right. But I appreciate the fact that other people are attempting to answer the question. You know what I mean? I have noticed that a few times where I'm like, somebody will say like, oh, can I play this talent? And then, yeah, but like, well, I just like, there will be like a good question and the answer is yes or no. But then somebody else will say the other thing. And I'm like, wait a second. That's not quite right. So just, yeah, just remember, because the Discord is growing and there's a lot of people in there now, which is awesome. And I'm glad that people are like so willing to talk about the game because this game is awesome. But I'm like, hold up. Sometimes, yeah, because the one thing about Discord is you're not looking at somebody's IO or gameplay. This happens in class Discords. It happens across the board, right, in World of Warcraft. If you go into a class Discord and you ask a question, hey, are we playing this talent or that talent, whatever you want to say, or do we use the spell rotationally, whatever, you don't know who's answering your question. Like, you might ask that question, good question. The person who says, no, we definitely don't, they're no, you have no idea. Like, even if they have a little name, like a little check mark next to their name, the highest key that they might have done is a +5. Like, you really don't know, right? Like, it's actually kind of wild to me that, because there's no filter for them not being able to answer your question. So just remember to take everything as a conversation with a little grain of salt. If you are getting your information from Discords, you can't ask them for their IO because that's rude and they'll get very offended and you'll get banned or yelled at. But remember that class Discords are oftentimes very, cultish and dogmatic. So whatever one person says or whatever the one main person, whatever their idea is, everyone else has to conform to that idea or they're really bad. And just remember. Yeah, so just fair warning, if you are new to WoW and you're getting your information from people's Discords, including mine, just feel free to like ask for a little clarification or just, take it with a grain of salt, confirm it, double check it as much as you would like. Occasionally you'll have somebody answer who is a Giga player and they're answering based on experience and practice. And it's like, wow, can't believe I'm getting this information for free. Well, you just remember that the bear Discord, Squish Vegan, is one of the worst bears to ever play it, Dal. As you know, that guy, he's suspicious. Can't trust a single thing he does. He's very bad, right? I mean, it's crazy that is so that's exactly what, that's just kind of wild, So yeah, just remember, that happens in every Discord, though. It's not just the bear Discord or anything like that. If you don't, I think there was a neck piece as well. I think if the rogue wants to roll for it, can roll. If you don't need the ring, maybe we could roll for it, though. I do. Does he need the ring, or who got the ring? Oh, you got that ring. Crit haste. Oh, the belt is plate. Oh, unfortunate. Unless random does need the ring, in which case, of course, no problem. UI. So Tyrion, my UI, I'm going to have to change that because Cell is unfortunately not updated at this point. So actually, I don't think I'll be using Cell anymore. I'm going to have to do that, though. First, doing tier 11 delves just for the crest difference. It is just a much longer tier 8 delve otherwise. Kitty, ice cream is here. Yeah, there's not like a crazy difference between it. You don't have to do tier 11 delve this week, though. Do you need something? No problem, of course. Congratulations. If that is a good ring for you, then that is a good ring for us. But however, do you need the cloak? Somebody got a neck piece earlier. Do you need that? Because I would gladly accept this cloak. Oh, hold up. I did a command like this so we could get rid of the pre-rolls. Your order came. Nice. Ice cream is here. Ice cream hype. You know what's annoying, by the way? With the amount of ads that I have set normally, I don't actually skip the pre-rolls, I think, properly. Like, they're supposed to be, but they don't actually get skipped right. So I have to sometimes, I always forget throughout stream that I'm supposed to manually type it in every now and again to do like a 90 or 120 ad. Try to time it for when I go get ice cream or something. Like this. Look at that sigil of chains. Nice. Echo kick. Beautiful. Hi, kitty. Ice cream. Thank you. Did you get your Blizzard already?
Yeah, sounds good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Am I gearing every class? Siberius. Originally, I was going to. At this point, because I'm having some burnout a little bit, no, actually. I don't think I'm going to get to gear every class. Wait a second. There's no spoon. Oh, wait. Yeah, there is. It's on the side. So I actually think I'm going to have to not gear everything. I just don't. I'm going to run out of time, and it's going to be too stressful, I think, to actually gear out of everything right now, though. Looks like this link is for 3 months. What link? What, Michak, what link? Can you get hero piece on Delves this week? If you get the map, then you can. I think that is better. Yeah. It was an unreasonable expectation, to be honest with you. I wanted to. I thought it would be cool, but truthfully, I don't have as much time to game as I used to, and leveling took longer than I thought it would. And all this preseason stuff is also just not my favorite thing. The last thing that I want to do, Siberius, is burn out before the season starts. Exactly. That's the last thing I want to do. Looks like this link is for a gifted sub on the YouTubes. I actually don't know. A few people have gifted like a sub on YouTube before, but I actually don't know how it works, to be honest with you. Not active anymore. Oh, got you. Were you gifted one before? The map adventure. Yeah, its map is RNG, but you can also get it a guaranteed one from a Nightmare Prey, supposedly. But ultimately, remember, if you want to do all this stuff, you absolutely can, but you don't have to. Like this week, I'm not going to do my praise because it's a slight min-max. I will be losing some efficiency for it, but at the same time, I just want to do enough that next week I can do my Mythic 10s, you know? Another cloak. Actually, I need this cloak. That's fine. So I need the cloak, actually. There's more legs, so don't need the legs. Anyone need pants? I do not. Who got the choker earlier? Did somebody get a neck earlier that they don't need? By chance? I thought we had looted a neck or something off the first boss. Barbed Ymir choker. Oh, yeah. Do you want that random? This is incoming tuning in March, the new patch. Where? This is the next week tuning. Okay, so I got this cloak. Not bad. It's a little item level there. Demon Hunter is still kind of behind. Getting a little bit of a repeat drops. But I have ice cream, though. 10 hours ago. Old news, indeed. Angel Wrath has single-handedly saved today. I don't think they'll tune Prop Pally until Mythic Plus comes out. I know, I also feel like that, Kitty. That's exactly how I feel now. Yeah, Random, did you need the neck piece? If you do, no problem, but let me know. Actually, I can get my own neck, though. Show us the ice cream? What do you mean show us the ice cream? I'm eating it right now. It's a chocolate sundae from Dairy Queen. I got 2. I did the abundance already, so. Oh, if you don't need it, I'll take it. Thank you. Ooh. We think Angel Wrath, Kitty. Take a bite like a big man? Absolutely not. No. The best way to eat ice cream is littler bites. Otherwise, it gets too cold. Random, thank you for doing M0s today, even though you don't really need them. I needed that neck too. Did you? I tell you what, if you want it for I don't care. It's just item level for me. I'm pretty sure I can buy it. I have the renown for it. So you want it? Did you want the neck? No. You take it. If you want it for whatever, you can have it. For me, it's just item level because I'm using a 192 neck, so it's 50. item level for me. Yeah, no, you got it like small bites. It's too cold otherwise. Yeah, it's late there. Thanks for coming. It was nice to meet you, by the way, and thanks for hanging out. If you want to do any in the actual season, by all means, I like Windwalker monks. I respect the Windwalker monk. I do actually. Yeah. Listen, I do actually microwave my ice cream out of the freezer. It's too cold otherwise. You got to be willing to send things outside the box. And this, for example, here though, you know, play well. Siberius. If you can get her to play, send it. Because she's smart and she's good. And she would totally be great at it, but I don't think so, though. Is there going to be some more bear gameplay today? Probably not. Swish. No, I think my bear is mostly done, so the real question is, I might stream like one more day this week, but I'm going to make sure I take a day or two off before the season starts, though. We do play Hearthstone. Yeah. I thought a monk guide, not exactly the same prior order. Well, I did a Mistweaver guide and I did a Brewmaster guide, but I haven't done a Windwalker guide. That'd be cool. Kitty's not really a WoW player now. She prefers other types of games. The threat will be worse because you're doing less damage. But if you're struggling with Guardian Druid threat, I highly recommend that you watch this video because it will solve most of your problems. Did the Guardian Druid threat get worse with the recent set of notes? Technically, yes, but I got you. So, here. Right about here. Mythos Cyber was awesome. Yo, what's up, Tactics? Just watched it earlier. Those are the types of things I want to do more of over time. I'm actually super excited to do more of those, although it'll be guides this week, and then over the course of a season, I want to do a few more. I think that'd be super fun. Playing Pokopia since Blizzard made us wait a month for fun. Paul, try this video here. I think it should help. Because I haven't struggled with threat at all, but it's not an item level thing. It's just a... Threat is a lot about your movement. But until you see it explained, it can be very complicated to understand. New tanks don't understand that your positioning affects your threat way more than your rotation. I fucking love ice cream. Yeah, so my dream, by the way, Tactics, eventually, is to have that for every spec. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do have to stay awake. If you want to. I don't think my Demon Hunter is geared enough, honestly. So I could go over to my Paladin and we could plate stack for a bit. You want to do that? Yeah, well, Kitty, you've been busy. I've also been busy, so we're just adults now. It is what it is. Only if you want ace. We're chilling. What's up, Obly? How's the ping now? Same as it always is. It is exactly, let's find out. Same as it always is. Which is about 220. And it's going to be hard to learn route in the first area. Draxel, did you watch my video on it? Also, hi, Obly. How's it going? I'm eating ice cream, enjoying it. Yeah, boy. It has been a minute. Honestly, life has been kind of overwhelming and a bit stressful recently, but I'm eating ice cream and it ends up being okay. Draxel, I think I posted the pit video actually at this point though, right? 4 inches of snow. You know, most people in Thailand have never seen snow. Also, Kitty, that guy right above you, few messages up, Obley. We might be getting dinner with him soon. He's the English lad with a very soothing voice. I don't think you've ever actually been described like that, Obley. Maybe you have. I'm not sure. I still don't understand if a lad is a positive or a negative. I don't actually know what that means, to be honest. I've been described as many things that make sense. Yep. Unfortunate. Here, let me go over to my prop pally here, by the way. All of it is true. But not that. Fair enough. Try and dig my way out again. One day at a time, Scratch. One day at a time. We'll do a few on the pally today. Why not? Thanks. Loving the content? You're welcome. I hope that it helps. I hope I can make some cool stuff over time. Also, grats on your 10K, Obley. I think it's very cool. It's a very cool accomplishment. You would still be the first person I've ever met from stream. I think Demon Hunter Tank feels pretty good right now. Honestly. I'm pretty happy with Demon Hunter Tank. It's weird. The pruning for that really did affect it, but not necessarily in a negative way. All right, Ace. Invite. We will begin the grind. So start dungeons, Seat of the Triumvirate. Let's start with like easy 4 boss ones. So let's do like Magister's Terrace is actually pretty quick. +0 competitive. I don't think I've done Pally today, so he should have every dungeon available. We just need enough item level that we can do next week. That we can go into 10s and stuff. Yeah, adult life do be kicking me a little bit. It has been getting me just a little bit here and there. Visit Draxel. Later, I will have some stuff to help with that. Just know that like later in the season, not so late in the season, but I'm going to have some cool stuff. So just look out for it. How young are you? Kitty, how young am I? It's better to ask other people how young I am. How young do I seem, Siberius? Because basically, I know how old I actually am, which is 29. But how I feel on the inside is a little bit more like I was there when the original strait opened up way back when and your ancestors crossed it. Yeah. On the inside, you're a Gramps. Yeah, pretty much. I feel 80. I've basically been 83 for a long time at this point. That'd be cool, man. 29 is not old. No, objectively, like by medical information, I'm not old. But subjectively, I am. Was there a video of you fighting Socrates? There was a video of me owning Socrates, but you'll never see it. We decided not to publish it out of embarrassment for him. You know him, Socrates. Man cares about his image. You'll be 34 next week. Well, what's important is not objectively how old you are, but subjectively how old you feel, right? Now, this is important because I am an adult by objective standard. Sometimes, however, I feel like I'm 5, which is very disturbing for Kitty because I'm not supposed to do that. But actually, on the inside, I feel old. I feel like very old now. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're adults now, Kitty. It's over for us. Yep. We're done. We're cooked. It's fully cooked at this point. There's no recovering it. It is what it is. We'll get like a few plate people in here, and then we'll send it. Send Terrace. Probably possible. Hard boiled, huh? Yeah. Also, hi Kurosaki. Do you like Bleach? Are you a Bleach fan? Wow. All right, let's make some vids. Yo, I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi, Obly. Much appreciated. In a bit, chap. All right. Have a good day, lad. I still don't know what a lad is. I actually don't physically understand it. It's just basically anybody who talks with an English accent is a lad. You just have to be male and have an English accent. It's a young man? Yeah, Albly's a young man. A lad is the berries and cream guy. What berries and cream? What? Google it right now? What is berries and cream? Wait, what? All right, I'm Googling it. Fine, I'll do it. This is a big trust moment. I'm going to Google it. All right. Okay. Let's see. Berries and cream. Berries and cream lad. What? This is a lad? This is the lad? This is not a lad? Wait, what? No. I thought a lad was somebody who... wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. No, hold up. Wait a second. This doesn't make any sense. Wait a second. No, a lad... No, wait. What? Can you show us? Yeah, I thought a lad was somebody who likes sports. Wait a second. This doesn't make any sense. What's up, my lord? My lord, what's a lad? Do you know what a lad is? I thought a lad was like a sporty person. This is not a lad. This is what a lad is? A young fellow. This is a lad? This doesn't seem right. I don't think you're being honest with me. I don't think so. No, I'm not being cruel. I thought this doesn't seem right. I think I'm being trolled. I don't buy it. A lad is just a term for describing a man that is younger than you. 2 pallies in queue. Let me get them. We can get a warrior as well. Doesn't matter. And a warrior works for plate stuff. Yeah, sure. Can you trade plate? Can you trade plate? Would not by definition be a lad. Interesting. Okay. Or your group of friends, aka the lads. Yes, because if there's one thing that I excel at, it is 100%. Yeah, it could also mean male friends. Right, okay, so this is something. The reason I don't know what lads are is because I don't have any male friends. Such a hard time with them. Yep, I'm not good at having male friends. Yeah, like basically I tend to struggle by having male friends, not exactly for me, female friends, not exactly for me. So I just basically stay online and I just talk to gremlins and goblins the whole day. Why not? In actuality, I've always had a hard time getting along. I don't get along with guys very well. I think nowadays in my life, I'm better at it. But for a long time, I wasn't exactly very masculine. So I think that I actually have struggled with having like just regular male friends. Because basically, when a guy, as an example, right? Listen, well, I've been lifting for a long time though. I used to call your stream audience gremlins. To be fair, Kurosaki, you're absolutely right. But my motto is that I always try to be kind, not nice. Nice? Kind? Sure. But you're fair enough. I take it as a compliment. Yeah. Look, I've been online long enough to know that goblins always get... All right, what were we doing? What key was this? What did we say? Magister's Terrace. All right, bet. Magister's Terrace. There we go. Honesty is kind. Yeah, I'll appreciate that. I'll take it, though. Our chuds. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I've been working out for a lot longer than 6 years. The only reason that I have any level of fitness, to be honest, is obviously I work out hard, but it's just time. It's like I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. And it's fairly important to me. You seem very social. I am social when I'm alone in a room playing my favorite game. But outside, I'm not. I am a hardcore introvert. Like, I basically just want to be left alone in my cave with an internet connection and food. And then, like, you know, give me kitty too, and I'll be fine. But, like, basically, like, I don't actually... I'm not a social butterfly in real life. I tend to be kind of quiet when there are a bunch of people around. Depends on the people, but... I actively avoid people in real life. Like, if there are people over here, right? Yeah. So, let me put it this way. When we have had people over to our house, I accidentally, on purpose, stream for like 12 hours so that I could, whenever I go downstairs and they're like, yo, hey, like, how's it going, Awoo? They don't call me Awoo. They call me Steve. And I'm like, fucking hell. All right. So anyways, they're like, how's it going, Steve? And I'm like, you know, hey guys, it's so good to see you. Unfortunately, I'm working right now, so I do have to get back. And they're like, oh, no problem. Totally understand. And I'm like, I gotta go. Sorry, I'm live. You know, it's work. I gotta go. So anyways, if you ever see me stream for like 12 hours, probably just know that we have people downstairs. Your name cannot be Steve. It is. I know, right? It's not a great name. Like, it's not a bad name. Like, there's nothing wrong with Steve. But the thing is, there's nothing special about Steve, right? Yeah, I know. That's the thing, right? No, but Steve. No, but Steve. I'm not a science teacher. Steve was my 9th grade science teacher. And I remember him because he, one time, we walked into his class. We were in 9th grade. And he was just like, I got crabs once. Don't get crabs, guys. They suck. And I was like, what the fuck, Steve? Like, this is what Steve is like. This is the nature of Steve, is this. He was the epitome of Steve. And I would like to think that I could be more than this, you know? You even call him a woo? No, Kitty calls me... You know, there's this wonderful quote that says, stop while you're ahead. And I believe in that quote. I try to live it as best that I can. So that's what I'm going to do. Yep, it's important. I think it's a very impactful quote. I try to use that quote as much as possible. I find it to be a very impactful quote, right? Can make a big difference in one's life to understand, right? It's that bad? No, of course not. It's good. What do you mean bad? Bad? What do you mean? It's not bad. It's good. Of course. What do you mean bad? Psh, what? You're bad. This is the problem with me being a little bit tired and streaming at the same time is you guys understand, right? Is Templar at best until like 10? No, I still think Lightsmith, even if you're trying to go for damage. Here's the problem, right? Y'all understand that one day, if you don't see me, if you're like, you know what, Woo hasn't streamed in like a long time. I wonder what happened to Steve. It's like, you want to know what happened? I said something that I wasn't supposed to say because my sense of humor will get me into trouble. I've known this forever. It's not, no one should be surprised. But my problem is that one day I am simply going to say something that I am definitely not supposed to have said. And then it'll be GG's for this whole streaming thing. And that will be sad. And I attempt to prolong that day for as long as humanly possible. It's that simple. My goal and my version of success is if this doesn't happen soon, then I have succeeded. Because one day for sure it's going to happen. And I just somehow need to get big enough so that before it happens, or rather when it happens, I can contact somebody and be like, I didn't mean it. It was a joke. It was totally my bad. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, please. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But I can definitely see my humor is dark, you know. I'm so interested in my cats now, though. That'll be a sad day because Flying Bear and Rookery was. I do seriously worry about it, though. I do have, because like, I like dark humor. Like I think that I have a very sarcastic, ironic view of the world, and I don't mind expressing that view, but that view is oftentimes expressed through dark humor, you know? Oh, my nameplates were turned off. I was wondering why that would look weird. Yeah, I think that there's something to be said about the fact that if you cannot look at the world with a certain lens of cruelty and stuff, you're like the sweetest person. That's why the dark makes sense. Well, I would like to think that I'm sweet, Henry, but I would have to leave that. You'd have to ask Kitty, to be honest, as no one else in this chat has tasted me before. So it's just, generally speaking, I would like to think that, but at the same time, maybe not. I wouldn't be able to tell you. That's like something that everybody at least does once in their life, but normally not more than once. If you do it once, you're a normal guy. If you do it twice, then you're a freak. Yeah, that makes way more sense. At face value, yes. Please tell me that somebody is following along with this conversation. Oh, nice. Perfect. Thank you. All I can tell you is that if you were following along, that last 60 seconds was comedic gold. But it was so gold that it was mistaken for bronze. Unfortunate, really. I think that one of my bad habits, potentially, is the fact that I can be quite cynical. I'm trying to be beautiful along with the meaningless of existence. Yep. And why dark humor is just coping in a trench coat. Yeah, what's up? A genuine question. Why is Lightsmith actually better than Templar? So, you mean purely for damage or just in general? There are a few reasons why, even if they were tuned identically, why Lightsmith is a little better than Templar. One of the biggest ones is coverage. Okay? One of the absolute biggest ones is coverage. As Lightsmith, as Templar, you are basically forced into sending everything at the same time as part of your rotation. Whereas Lightsmith, you can actually have slightly more coverage outside of wings. On top of the fact that this talent, although nerfed, Tempered in Battle is massive, right? Tempered in Battle is actually a huge way. You can save your team and yourself with it on top of that, okay? Second of all, the damage profile, even if they were tuned identically, they're pretty similar. Like, that's not exactly why there's a massive difference behind it. But it's just you will feel, in general, much tankier as Lightsmith. And you have more team utility because your bulwarks are still bulwarks. Plus, with the new talent here... Ooh, thank you. Thank you. With the new talent here, which was not a thing before, you get more shield resets, which gives you more Apex talent, which gives you more kicks as well. So it's just, in general, Lightsmith is ahead if they were tuned equally. Templar would have to be significantly ahead in order for you to justify playing it. You would actually have to do more damage, not equal damage as Templar. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Grim? Because it's not like Templar provides anything other than just damage. You're playing all tanks this season. I wanted to, my lord, but to be honest with you, I ended up... I most likely won't be able to because I just ran out of time. It was a little bit much, though. At the moment, you might feel like that, but I would encourage you to play it in an actual Mythic Plus environment. One of the reasons it might feel like Templar does more damage is because of how fast packs are dying, because Templar has big burst, where you're basically walking in and full sending cooldowns, so you don't have to sync anything, and you can just absolutely burst things down, right? That's one of the reasons maybe why Templar feels much better right now. But after beta testing, Lightsmith was ahead for Pally. You ever play Holy? Yeah, I play everything. I just have a bad habit of being an altaholic, honestly, though. Yeah, I have a bad habit of just playing way too many ults. So yes, I do play Holy. I'll play whatever tank I maintain. So for example, if I maintain a Brewmaster, I'll play Mistweaver and some Windwalker sometimes. If I maintain a Druid, I'll occasionally just hop over and play Feral for fun. Or, you know, whatever it is. I'll try Balance for a key just because I enjoy the change up. For me, it's very fun to play new things. Gfo swears by you. That's very nice of her. She's cool. I like Gfo. Variety is the spice of life. Yes, I keep telling that to Kitty, but she doesn't quite agree with it. Is Bear okay this season? Absolutely. Bear is going to be just fine. It did receive a lot of nerfs recently, but that is no problem. It will be okay. It might not be the most meta tank, but it'll be good, my lord. No problem with that. I think tank balance is actually pretty good. I would agree with that, actually. I would say tank balance is pretty good right now, though. Excited to start your key push next week? Dude, I'm so hyped for it. The key push is actually massively excited. Like, it's super, super, super cool that we have keys finally coming back. I've been missing them a lot, though. What about Prot Warrior? Prot Warrior is interesting because I actually... on beta testing, Prot Warrior is good. Like, that's one of the things that people misunderstood, is a lot of people were discounting it, but Prot Warrior was always good on beta. It was just missing a bit of damage because they swung too far with the nerfs and the buffs across beta. So if Prot Warrior was buffed by like 20%, you would actually have it be like an S tier tank. It wasn't lacking anything. It can live this season. It was just... there wasn't a lot of synergy with the specs that were super good. There wasn't a lot of this. There was a few reasons why it was a little bit not played as much, but Prot Warrior itself was not bad. So if they give it another 10% damage, I actually think there's a very real world where you could see Prot Warrior kind of sneaking its way in. People will be like, what? But actually, it was always good, you know? It's strong enough to opposite maybe the highest keys, which I never aim for, of course. And VDH has also recently got a massive buff. VDH was not struggling to live except for the very highest keys. We just didn't know for a long time if the Fiery Brand was a bug or a feature. And it seems like it is a feature instead of a bug because they haven't fixed it yet. So the Fiery Brand extending its own uptime is a massive part. And the fear was, if that is a bug, Owls, then when they fix the bug, it's just not, you know, it's going to be really squishy at that point. But it seems like that is not the case because they haven't fixed it yet. So, yeah, it would actually be interesting. But supposedly, if that's not a bug, then yeah, I guess VDH has a lot more. But the main problem with VDH is that Devourer looks so strong. And you very rarely, unfortunately, class stack, right? So most likely, if Devour is the meta, then VDH won't be meta, quote unquote. The real sneaky sneaks are balanced druids. Goddamn balanced druids can never be bad. Swear. They're so deceivingly, they always get buffed. Because I think balanced druid with that 20% buff recently might actually be good. And you play around and makes the spec strong. So actually the problem with VDH is that if it wasn't strong, you would be in trouble. This is a weird trinket, but all right. I guess we're playing it. Cool. So the idea is this. Uncapped target at Mark of the Wild is always having value. Yeah. Yep. Because you definitely want a druid, although you don't have to play one, but in general, the thing about class buffs and the thing that people don't quite understand about the conversation about them, the reason that class buffs are so impactful is actually because the tuning is pretty good. It's only because the tuning is actually decent. If the tuning was bad, then class buffs wouldn't matter as much. You understand what that means? Because if they tuned the game where one spec was just wildly doing 30% more, which used to happen, then it didn't matter if they had a class buff or not. You had a season at the end of Shadowlands, it was kind of the last time this happened, where, like, as an example, you had Destro Warlock and Survival Hunter. These things did not provide a group buff, but they were just casually doing 20%, 30% more than everyone else. So you played them. And that's not really a thing anymore. Does that make sense? So you don't have that sort of tuning like you used to have. And therefore, did we pull something that we're not supposed to have pulled? I can bubble taunt, it's okay. Just get close, get close, get close. Wish Outlaw was good. So many people are like boring low APM. Rogue is currently lives or dies by its tuning because it doesn't have a class buff. Class buffs are really rough. I kind of wish they were just disabled in Mythic Plus, to be honest with you. I understand why they aren't, but, you know. But yeah, the fact is a 3% difference is actually massively, that's a big deal now because the tuning is actually so tight. If the tuning wasn't as tight, then it wouldn't be a problem. I cannot trade the weapon if it drops, but good luck. I can't trade if it drops. I don't think it'll drop for me, but otherwise though, yeah. By the way, did somebody get something earlier? Earlier, by the way. I can't trade weapon if it drops. I can try to spec rep, but I don't think it'll let me trade. I think Prot Pally needs a little buff. I think that Prot Pally could use a small... Like, I think they could revert the armor buff. I think that that's really the thing about Prot Pally that they need to change, is the armor buff. Armor buff was a questionable nerf to Prot Pally, and I think that that's what I would change about Prot Pally, just straight up the armor value. Oops. I crossed the line. And Brew could be brought a bit lower. Yeah, Brew damage maybe is acceptable as of right now, but I think that the problem with Brew is how do they nerf its survivability while still maintaining a fair and reasonably balanced tank? I'm a little worried that they're going to hit it too hard, which is not good, because it needs to be strong, but they just have to get it right with how strong. Not something they are notoriously very good at doing, by the way, though. Semi has Trophic Poison. Actually, I talked to Shindig about this, but its mind-numbing poison this season is probably going to be better than a Trophic. Mind-numbing is sleeper value. Don't underestimate the power of mind-numbing Toxicity. You would think that a Trophic is always going to be played, but not necessarily. Good luck. I think people need the weapon from this two-handed strength weapon. Maybe drops. 3, 2, 1. Did somebody get it? Good luck. Hey, Grats. Somebody got the weapon. Do you like the pangolin bear? I kind of like the Harnier bear. Yeah, I do, actually. I sort of want to race change to Harnier, but I'm not sure if I will. Because I think that War Stomp also got kind of buffed, weirdly enough, with the changes. Oh, sorry. Again? Thank you. Nice. What is he trying to trade me? Hold up. Oh, he's trading me this. Thank you. I'm still using my Reishi wraps. I was like, wait a second. What is this trade? Oh, thank you. Very nice. Okay, so I got a few things. That key, not bad. A weapon, a trinket, and a cloak. Not bad, not bad. Prop Pally now gets a little more item level. Very solid, though. Buff Blood DK Blizzard, let us be meta. So the last time Blood DK was meta was back when you had just this, again, this tuning thing, which is just like, it's so meta, right? Like, that was the problem. Is that for Blood DK to be meta, without a class buff, is it needs to be so good that you have to play it. And I don't think that's going to happen anymore. It's kind of not good for the community. We all know people expect this. Yeah. Good old Shadowlands, correct. But I don't think that's going to happen again for Blood DK. So that's the kind of the sus part about it is I don't know if we're going to see that tuning again. So not having a class buff is tough. Ace, thank you for doing some keys and funneling me some gear. I do appreciate it. That makes this journey a little bit easier. I'm sure I'll play over the next few days. I just don't know if I'm going to gear enough to get into any normal raid clears on my alts. So we'll see. I can quickly check the upgrade vendor and see if any things can just get upgraded real fast. I'm just huffing that copium. Fair enough. You're allowed to. There's nothing wrong with wanting your favorite spec to be meta. And understandable why. That would be so sought after. All right, now, technically speaking, there are a few more raid bosses for me to kill, and there's certainly more activity for me to do this week if I really wanted to prepare. Mostly delving. The delves are actually the biggest part of what I should be doing, technically speaking. But I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to really send that, because I don't know if I care enough, to be honest. These still take adventurer gear, it looks like. And it looks like these still take the adventurer crest. Now, granted, I have some to spend, but okay. Interesting. You like the Harnier racial? I think it's pretty lackluster. From my testing, at least, the Harnier racial was pretty lackluster, so I can't say I am a huge fan of it. Okay, so at this point, if we just take a look at my vault here, we're going to do like 2 more of these, though. I'm getting sleepy. Staying awake is hard, is true. What's the Harnier racial? It's like an active ability, like a Thorns thing. Yeah, it's just like a Thorn thing. So even from here, for example, though, we look at the vault situation, and it's like, man, I really should be doing more on both my Prot Pally, my Prot Warrior, my Demon Hunter, my DK. I haven't even done anything on my Shaman, DK, or Evoker. Like, I leveled these characters, but realistically, man, I don't know how much I'm really going to get done. I might have bit off more than I can chew. I might, like, it's so cool, and, like, I want to, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to get all this stuff done. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. How many can I upkeep? That is the question, because I'm already struggling right now. Although, so we'll see, right? Because maybe more than I think. Next week will be much easier when I can just step into keys. Like, that's the thing I want to be doing, right? It's the fact that I can't do keys that I feel weird. Do you know what I mean? In the same book, I like 5 characters on 6. Yeah. So that is the real question about how many I would actually be able to do. It is a good question. Good question indeed. All right. I don't know how much longer Kent will be on, but that'll be all for me today. I will probably stream one more day in the next few days, and then I'll take a few days off. So potentially tomorrow, potentially not tomorrow. I will see. I'll be uploading some videos, though, if you want. The Discord's here. Otherwise, let's go say hi to Kent, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Next day after that, we'll see. GG's. I'm going to try to get as much done as I can, and honestly, whatever it'll be is kind of what it'll be. Yep. Night. Bye. So good. Safest pick for tank, in your opinion? It's hard to answer that, Jank, honestly, because so much has changed since beta. Like, there was almost no point in doing the beta testing, to be honest. Kind of hard to say. I would say Brewmaster is actually a fairly interesting choice right now, but otherwise, Prot Warrior, Prot Pally, VDH, 3 safest tanks. Because all of them will always be good for some reason. Everything else is kind of niche, technically speaking. But all right, I gotta go. That is it for me.